This News Channel 7 special presentation is brought to you in part by the New York State Lottery. Hey, you never know. News Channel 7 WKBW-TV presents Buffalo Bills football. The Buffalo Bills meet the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now live from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando is Jerry Butler and Eyewitness Sports Director John Murphy.
It's Buffalo Bills preseason football tonight, live from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. The Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And good evening, everybody. I'm John Murphy, along with former Bills wide receiver Jerry Butler, now the Bills director of alumni and player relations. And here we go again, another preseason game for the Bills. And maybe they can play as well as they played about a week ago in Kansas City, Jerry.
Well, I think so. You know, the one thing for an athlete, you hate to be on the road so long, but this team has definitely... they've done it all. You know, they've had to go against Detroit, and then they had to come back and go to Berlin and then come back and play Kansas City, which they did a marvelous job. And I look for them to get out there and have a really, really good showing tonight.
Well, one thing, of course, a couple of different classes of players. The veterans who know they're going to be here and know that they're going to be playing a major role for this Buffalo Bills team this year. There are also the players on the bubble. And, yes, we have a cut-down date coming up on Tuesday of this week. By Tuesday at noon, the Bills must reduce their roster by 19. And there are some nervous players out there, Jerry.
Well, sure, you know, and I think the athletes know that, too. We used to call it the Turk. And when the Turk comes knocking on your door, he wants one thing, and that's your playbook. And unfortunately, guys, you know, this may be their last chance, but it may not be their only chance to play in the league because Buffalo, fortunately, has some top-notch athletes that can play elsewhere in this league.
Well, you see that, too, on the Tampa Bay roster when people like Martin Mayhew and Leonard Humphreys, who were in the Bills camp a year ago, get cut by Buffalo and wind up, in Mayhew's case, cut by Buffalo and left in Plan B, really. But they do wind up on other rosters, showing you the depth of talent that the Buffalo Bills have. Well, a couple of guys who maybe have played so well this preseason that they will survive the Turk. First of all, the fullback in his second year, number 21, Nate Turner. Give me your impressions of him, Jerry.
Well, Nate has definitely been used a lot this preseason. You know, he's got 16 carries, 66 yards. He's doing a wonderful job. And I tell you what, if he could just get in there and continue to do the type of job he's done in the last 3 games, I know he'll definitely be there, and he'll be a big access to this football team.
He's pushing Carwell Gardner maybe for the starting spot here, and the Bills say they want to use a lot more two-back set, and of course Nate Turner will facilitate that once he makes his team and settles in.
Well, the biggest plus that Nate has is his catching ability. Not to take anything away from his size, but when you got a guy that's got that size and he can catch the ball, you definitely can utilize Turner in the offense, and I think you'll see Marv Levy do that in this offensive game plan.
We're going to see Nate Turner used as a kickoff return man too, which should be interesting. He's 255 pounds. Another guy who's had a good training camp for the Buffalo Bills, another second-year man, wide receiver Chris Walsh out of Stanford. He's played well all summer long.
Well, he's a wide receiver. What do you expect, right?
All right.
Well, Chris is definitely having a great camp too. He's looking at 11 catches, 159 yards, and in preseason, that's remarkable. But he's had an opportunity to get in the second half and show these coaches what he can do, and he's done it all along. I'm totally impressed with his ability to play this football game, and I look for Chris to be a big part of this offense as well as we go into the season.
We'll see a lot of them and see a lot of the others, too. The Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we'll be back with the kickoff of tonight's game right after this message.
Bradford Hall. Notice the 19th century Italian marble. This is the Bradford Armory, the finest collection of its kind in North America. This is the Bradford Library, 50,000 volumes, all extremely rare. And this is the Bradford living room. Oh, and these are the Bradfords.
How you doing? Grab a chair. We got 1 million of them.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Is this your average quiet night in?
Showtime. Alex.
Hi, I'm not disturbing anything, am I?
No, just a quiet night in.
Oh, sounds like it.
Beer?
Yeah, please.
special dry. It just could be the best beer ever brewed, anytime, anywhere.
It's cleanup countdown time and the complete line of new Pontiacs, like the incredible Grand Prix, with all these options and 3.9% GMAC financing for just $239 a month for 36 months. Plus, you get 3 years of worry-free driving with a free bumper-to-bumper warranty, free 24-hour roadside assistance, even free courtesy transportation, all for just $239 a month. Come test drive any new Pontiac during our cleanup countdown and get this complete car cleanup kit free. It's time to clean up at your Western New York Pontiac dealer now.
Welcome back to the Florida Citrus Bowl on a hot, muggy night in Central Florida. The temperature in the low 90s. It rained earlier today, rained last night. It could rain again here tonight. The Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bills playing their 4th preseason game of the year. They are 1-2, and the Bucs are 0-2 in their first 2 games. A couple of notable players not here, and we'll tell you about them right now. Kent Hull is not here. Of course, he underwent knee surgery, arthroscopic knee surgery in Buffalo in mid-June. He is in Vail, Colorado with Dr. Stedman, the knee surgeon who operated on Bruce Smith's knee, and we are told moments ago that Kent Hull underwent arthroscopic surgery on the same knee this afternoon. He's recovering well, should be able to lift weights in the near future, but Kent Hull did not make the trip. Neither did tight end Keith McKellar nor wide receiver Al Edwards, and we'll get to some of the others in a moment. But Steve Christie, the former Buck, is ready to kick it off, and the game is underway. It is a deep kickoff, deep into the end zone, and the Bucs down it there. They'll start from their own 20-yard line. The Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Jerry Butler, what was it like as a player to play in heat and humidity like this?
Well, you know, when you came into the stadium, you tried to look out in the parking lot and see what was going on. But I know it's hot out there because I saw guys cooking hot dogs out on the pavement today.
There's the Tampa Bay starting offense. Steve DeBerg, the oldest player in the NFL, is their starting quarterback. The offensive line, yes, missing left tackle Paul Gruber, who is still unsigned. 1st and 10 Tampa from their own 20-yard line. The Bills start Kurt Schultz at safety, at strong safety today. Henry Jones is still suffering from that bruised shoulder. Give to Reggie Cobb, and Cobb goes around the left side, picks up maybe 2 yards. This is Reggie Cobb's first action of the preseason. He had missed the first 2 games with a hamstring pull. Tackle made by Marcus Patton and Bruce Smith.
It's always good to get that first play going, you know, get the jitters out of there.
See the Bills defense, Hanson right, Bruce Smith across the front line, and the Buffalo linebackers. It is 2nd down for Tampa Bay. 2nd and 8 from the 22. Flags are down, and DeBerg is in trouble and brought down. But that may be a no play because the flags were down early. The Bucs may have moved. Darryl Talley in to knock down Steve DeBerg. This penalty is going to go against the Bills. Referee is Bob McElwee today.
John, even though that play was a negative, the big plus about that is the offense has still got a chance to get that play off. So you got to get in there and try and stop that quarterback from releasing that football. And that was something you saw happen, and that was a good plus on that.
Darryl Talley, the man charged with offsides. It was Mark Maddox who made the tackle. So they'll replay the down. It is 2nd and 3 for Tampa Bay from their own 27-yard line. We're just underway on a hot, muggy night in Florida. Here's the give to Anthony McDowell, and McDowell has to cut back and gets a yard or 2, not much more than that. Tackle made by Cornelius Bennett and Phil Hansen. Also not playing tonight for the Bills. We told you Henry Jones with that shoulder bruise suffered against Kansas City. He could play but won't tonight. Russell Copeland, the 4th-round pick, has sore ribs. He won't play. Neither will running back Yonel Jourdain. The Bucs now 3rd and 1 from their own 29-yard line. DeBerg finds his man, McDowell. He's got the 1st down and more, all the way out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 20 yards on that swing pass to Anthony McDowell. Williams and Kelso on the stop. Anthony McDowell was the Bucs' 8th-round draft pick in 1992.
You see the guy coming across in motion. Someone has to carry him. Someone's got to cover him. No one was there. Wide open up the field, and boy, I tell you, he picked up a lot of yardage on that one.
1st and 10 Tampa from the 49. They go without the huddle. They go for all of it, and it's overthrown, incomplete down the far sideline, intended for Courtney Hawkins. 39-year-old Steve DeBerg played just a quarter against the Falcons last week and played pretty well. 6 of 8, 93 yards, and threw for a touchdown. Tampa going without a huddle, Jerry. They've taken a page out of Marv Levy's playbook.
Well, I think we took the page from Samwise to start with. So
yeah. So that page is torn and tattered now. They're passing it back and forth. It is 2nd and 10. They'll call it the 50-yard line now. He's going to throw again. Finds his man. Lamar Thomas to the 40-yard line. Brought down by Buffalo's James Williams. Depending on where they spot it, it may be a first down. Lamar Thomas.
You see the receiver there. He's just waiting for it to clear, and he just jumps right open in the open there, and he just dumps the ball off to him to try and pick up a few yardage.
Lamar Thomas comes from the University of Miami, the all-time leading receiver for the Canes. He was Tampa's 3rd-round draft choice. They're still fooling with the chains. They have not yet indicated whether it will be a first down. They're going to have to bring the chains out to measure. So the Bills leave McKellar, Hull, and Edwards behind, and Copeland, Jones, and Jourdain not playing because of injuries. And again, the news on Kent Hull, arthroscopic surgery today in Colorado, but he should recover. No timetable yet for his return.
Well, I tell you, I hope Ken can make it back. Definitely would be an asset to this football team. We need him in there. They're just about to go into the season, open them up with New England coming up in a couple of weeks after Atlanta, the last preseason game back in Buffalo. Hopefully this arthroscopic surgery will be a plus for him, and I know he's going through a terrible time at football camp, just wanting to get back out there.
You saw how short they are, short by a couple of inches of the first down, so it's 3rd and inches for Tampa on a drive now that started from their own 20. They've got the ball on the Buffalo 40-yard line. DeBerg may be changing the play and a long count here. Throwing again. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Anthony McDowell. Now it is 4th and inches, and I bet Samwise is going to go for it, Jerry.
Well, that was a gutsy call there. I thought maybe they would run the ball to try to get the first down, and I know he wished he had that play back, but you're right. I think they're going to go for this one.
They have Cobb in the backfield with McDowell. Power formation with Dawsey, the lone wideout, to the right side. 4th and inches. Reggie Cobb. I don't know if he got it. The Bills may have stopped him short. Bruce Smith then on the stop for Buffalo. Mark Maddox helping out. They stopped him short. The Bills stop him on downs. Great defensive series for Buffalo, Jerry. That's similar to the first defensive series against Kansas City.
And you remember that, didn't it? Kansas City just pushed and pushed and pushed the Bills down and deep into the end zone there, and they held them right on the 1-yard line, and we got the ball back and drove it down the field and actually scored.
Bills stop him on downs. There's no score with 12:22 left to play first quarter. A timeout on the field, and we'll be back in a moment.
Well, it's been a fantastic summer in Western New York, and there's still plenty of great summer weather left, so Recreational Warehouse is having their annual summer clearance sale with savings up to 50% on selected products, like swimming pools. Save big time on year-end closeouts. And if you buy your pool now, we'll install it for only $99. Want a spa instead? Well, we've got hundreds of spas to choose from, all to be sold at discount prices with great features like neck jets and gas heaters. Also, patio furniture, blowout sale on floor samples, scratch and dent, and closeouts all must go. So stop by Recreational Warehouse in North Tonawanda and save.
Cozy up to the warmth and beauty of a fireplace from Hamburg Fireplace. Get the look of a wood fire with clean burning natural gas. And Hamburg Fireplace stands behind every gas fireplace they sell. Now is the time to save big on the fireplace of your dreams. Hamburg Fireplace, with over 20 working displays in the showroom, plus knowledgeable experts to answer all your questions. Make your dreams reality today at Hamburg Fireplace.
Beauty you can warm up to. Hamburg Fireplace. I love this place.
It's the biggest of the business, the new BK Big Fish Sandwich. And you can get it with fries and a drink, the new low combo price of $2.99. 4 big sandwich combos, each only $2.99.
I love this place.
Bills have the ball for the first time in this game. 12 minutes, 22 seconds left to play first quarter. There is no score. It is 1st and 10 Buffalo at their own 41-yard line, and Jim Kelly under center. He will play the first quarter. Thurman Thomas. Gain of 4 yards and pushed out of bounds on the far sideline. Martin Mayhew, the man who stopped them. There's the Bills starting offense with the two-back set, Thomas and Gardner, and Marv wants to use a lot of that tonight, Jerry.
Yeah, I tell you, I think in the two-back set, you're going to see a lot of run and a lot of passes. They've been able to work very well in camp towards perfecting this.
Bills go without a huddle, 2nd and 6. Andre Reed almost broke free. That's enough for a first down, though. Reed gets 7 yards on that pass and catch. Tackle made by Barney Bussey, starting at strong safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right here, you see Jim drops back. He sees Andre all the way, just comes right across the middle, about a 6-yard pattern. And if it wasn't for about 2 more seconds there, he would have broke that one.
Here goes Thurman around the right side. Thomas gets another first down, a gain of 12 yards to the Tampa Bay 37. Broderick Thomas hauled him down. Tampa's defense, Chidi Ahanahu, the rookie at left defensive end, Corey Mayfield, Santana Dotson, Ray Seals across the front. Dotson, the one who had the great start to last season for Tampa Bay. 1st and 10 for the Bills at the Tampa Bay 37-yard line. Carwell Gardner to the 32 and not much more. Tackle by Broderick Thomas. The linebackers for Tampa, McCants, Nickerson, and Thomas. McCants and Thomas, former first-round draft picks, and Hardy Nickerson comes over as a unrestricted free agent from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Defensive backs, you'll recognize Martin Mayhew's name, the former Bills draft pick of a few years ago. 2nd and 5 for the Bills at Tampa's 30-yard line. Thurman Thomas across the 30 to the 27-yard line. Looked like he was going to be stopped, but he followed some blocks and found a couple of yards.
That's the good thing about Thurman is you think you've gotten him locked up at a 2-yard loss or a 2-yard gain, and he can break it again for 5 more yards. The big thing is you have the fullback out over here on this side with the tight end, and that allows a little more force in the blocking scheme that allows Thomas to just burst right up in there, pick up those yardage. 1st and 10 for the Bills on Tampa Bay's 27-yard line. 2-step drop. Don Beebe has it. And he'll get across the 25 to the 23-yard line. Santana Dotson came over from the defensive line to make the tackle for Tampa Bay. With James Lofton gone from the lineup, Don Beebe has been used most effectively in this offensive strategy. You see him on a lot of quick pass there with the little 5-yard burst stop, and it's a timing route. The quarterback throws the ball right out there and pick up those yards. They count too towards the first down.
Bills ball, 2nd and 6 at the Tampa 23. Kelly to throw again to the end zone. Off the hands of Andre Reed. Almost with a touchdown there, but Reed just got one hand on it. Barney Bussey in coverage for Tampa.
See, Andre, he's got a seam route posted. He's splitting the 2 defenders. You like to have that one back there. It was just about 2 inches away, huh?
Reed got through there pretty quickly. Also 3rd and 6 for the Bills. Bill Brooks is in there to replace Reed at wide receiver for Buffalo. And now movement, and flags go down. Fina may have jumped early, the Bills left tackle.
I think the one thing that Buffalo has got to control is the fact of giving them unnecessary yardage, just taken away through penalties and things like this. These are things you have to concentrate on. You have to get right. And I know Fina is under a lot of pressure out there, and he's just got to keep his poise and confidence and just concentrate.
So now it is 3rd and 11 for the Bills. The ball at Tampa's 28-yard line. Beebe and Lamb are split wide to the left side. Bill Brooks wide to the right. That's Lamb in motion. Kelly escapes the rush. Bill Brooks. What a great catch by Bill Brooks on one knee. Ricky Reynolds, the man in coverage. Great catch by Brooks.
Well, I could say I showed him how to do that, but I won't take credit for that. The one thing you got to do is you see the quarterback scrambling. He's moving. Brooks sees him. Now he heads back to the sideline. That's his responsibility. The quarterback puts the ball in there. Wow. Brooks knows he's got time. He gets up and picks up a few extra yardage.
15-yard pickup, 1st and 10 for the Bills at the 13. The pitch to Thomas. No room to run. Flag down. Thomas run out of bounds after a loss of a couple, and a flag goes down. See what referee Bob McAwee says. This looks like it's going to be holding. Holding against Metzelars.
That looked like a tough call. Like a real tough call. The thing is, with a tight end, you got the running back coming to your side. You've got a long block. You do. And Pete has done a very good job of blocking all throughout his whole career. He's been noted for his blocking abilities. And I'm not sure what happened on that one. I won't get to see a replay. So we have to let that one go by.
Just saw Eric Curry, the first-round draft pick, getting his first action, just signed the other day. Swing pass, Thurman Thomas, and he is tripped up for a loss, and flags go down there. Reggie Burnett stopped him, but this one may come back because there are flags down on this play also.
And one flag got caught behind Curry's neck.
Clipping against the Bills. Well, the Bills are in full retreat now.
Personal foul. Number 51. Offense. Clipping. 15 yards. First down.
Jim Richard charged with that. Here is Eric Curry, their first-round draft pick, who just signed the other day, up against John Fina. That's all right if Curry got in there a little bit, too, because the swing pass was to his side. So it's now first down again for the Bills. Let's see where they spot the ball. The Tampa Bay 37-yard line.
Got quite a ways to go to get the next.
Well, I'm still doing the math. I think it's 1st and 33 for the Bills here.
I would think we would need to pass, don't you?
I think you need a couple. Kelly knows that, and he doesn't mind. Reed. Oh, what a great hit.
Great catch. Great catch.
Martin Mayhew on the tackle of Andre Reed. Jim Kelly was brought down hard by Eric Curry. First-round draft choice out of Alabama. Had 10.5 sacks for the Crimson Tide last year and almost had one here.
Jim Kelly stays in there in the pocket anyway, regardless. He's about to take down to the ground. He sees Andre Reed coming across and still unloads it, and Andre Reed made a spectacular catch. I would say it was 5 inches from the ground, wouldn't you?
Great catch right off the shoot tops. That was Curry against Fina there. 2nd and 31 for the Bills. Kenneth Davis just into the game, and he can't find much room to run. Martin Mayhew on the stop again. Martin Mayhew made the tackle. You remember him, a former Bills draft choice, 10th round in '88. Went to Washington in Plan B, and then came here as a free agent this year. He's being paid $2 million a year this year by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A 4-year deal worth $5.3 million. 3rd down and a long way to go for the Bills from Tampa's 35. And now Kelly may be changing the play. Ken Davis in the backfield with Kelly. Just unloads it and just barely misses Kenneth Davis. Chihi Ananatu with the pressure for Tampa Bay, and the Bills are going to bring in Steve Christie to try a long one.
There's two things that offensively you want to try and do right there on that last play. You want to try to keep the ball in the center of the field for a possible field goal. Try to pick up a few yards so it makes it a little bit closer for the field goal kicker, or possibly get it down in the end zone to pick up a first down. But we've seen that didn't work, so we're going to be kicking it for a field goal anyway.
A 51-yard attempt for Steve Christie. He has hit a few 50-yarders in his Buffalo career. It's on its way, and it is good. 51-yard field goal for the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Steve Christie. Take that, Sam White. Bills lead it 3-0. 7 minutes left in the first quarter. We'll return after this message.
Because millions of tons of road salt, freezing temperatures, and wet weather put Western New York in the Rust Belt, turn to Rust Stop. Rust Stop is a revolutionary new way to fight your car's worst enemy. Rust Stop is the only oil-based rust-proofing treatment available for new and used cars. Our special formula and high-pressure applications penetrates into seams and crevices that waxes and paints can't. New vehicles are given a lifetime guarantee. Protect your investment with Rust Stop, available only at Schmidt's Auto Body and Glass, 5 convenient locations. Rust Stop, it works.
Hey, when I buy lumber, I don't want to wait in line behind some guy with a year's supply of light bulbs. That's why I like Grossman's drive-thru. First, I can drive right up to my lumber and load. Second, they stock the best grades, because there's nothing funny about warped wood. Third, it's fast. You want to get in line, go to the movies. You want to get it done, get to Grossman's.
Get it done. Get it done. Get your Grossman's.
I love long summer days. Riding to work with the top down, running into people I know, hanging around the pool, trying to get to the bottom of it all, watching little things develop. So to keep going, I have a secret plan. A balanced diet including milk with energy plus 15 essential nutrients. Because I love long summer evenings.
Bills lead it 3-0 to score on a 51-yard field goal by Steve Christie, who left Tampa Bay as a Plan B free agent a year ago and did not leave under the best of circumstances. Christie to kick off here with a Buffalo lead of 3-0. The deep men, Vince Workman and Courtney Hawkins for Tampa. Another deep one for Christie. Hawkins will take the knee in the end zone.
You hate to see those when you're receiving the ball, because you're just back there waiting to just to churn that ball out of there, at least to the 20-yard line. And Christie's done a great job tonight getting that ball deep, and they don't stand a chance. They got to take it on the 20. No chance of them breaking it and taking it deeper than they need to.
Well, field goals, long field goals for Christie. That field goal 51 yards. 12-play drive, 26 yards, 5 minutes 24 seconds the elapsed time on that Buffalo scoring drive. Bucks have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. Inside 7 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. John Murphy along with Jerry Butler from the Florida Citrus Bowl. Play action fake and incomplete to the tight end Ron Hall. Good play fake though that time, and Jerry, that's almost a trademark of a Sam Weiss team, play action pass like that.
Yes, Sam Weiss and Steve DeBurry. He is one of the best I've ever seen at the play action fake, and he draws guys offside and he makes you think that he's handing that ball off, and next thing you know the ball is popped up downfield in someone's hand.
2nd and 10 for the Bucks from their own 20-yard line. The Bills with extra defensive backs. The Bucks have 4 wide receivers on the field. They're in shotgun, and Bruce Smith is just a little bit offside.
I would say he was just a little bit shy. I would agree with you there. He was anticipating that snap count, but unfortunately, like I talked about before during the last series, those are little penalties you got to try to avoid. You got to try to erase, and of course, preseason is a good chance to try to get rid of those, but hey, you got to concentrate defensively. You got to watch that ball. Once you snap, then you get it. But Bruce has always made his mark, 5-time Pro Bowler, on living off of getting the early start on guys.
Tampa Bay back into a more conventional set on 2nd and 5. 2 backs, 2 wideouts. Dawsey, the man in motion. And the give to the fullback, Anthony McDowell, and Jeff Wright comes up with the ball, and this play is still alive. Jeff Wright came up with a football, and he rumbles down to the 5-yard line of Tampa Bay. First down, Buffalo there. How the heck did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know whether he's just deciding to rewrite everything out there or not, but I got to go back and take a look at this one.
Jeff Wright with the strip and the fumble, and he goes all the way to the 7-yard line. That's where they will spot it. So a great opportunity for the Bills here.
Well, somewhere along the line, defense have got to come up with some big plays, and I would definitely say that is a big play.
That's McDowell with the football. That's Marcus Patton's left hand. And the football is in there somewhere, folks.
Somewhere.
1st and goal for the Bills at Tampa's 7-yard line. Carwell Gardner to the 4, gain of 3 yards. Barney Bussey, the safety, came up to make the tackle. Bussey came over as a free agent from Cincinnati, where he played for Sam Weiss for several years. Now the Bills have their big lineup in. Jerry Crafts will come in to play the offensive line. Nate Turner comes in the backfield with Gardner. Reed and Kenneth Davis lead. It is 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. The Bills threatening after the takeaway. They lead it 3-0. 6 minutes to go, first quarter. Gardner out of bounds at the 1.5, 2-yard line. Derek Brownlow over on the stop for Tampa Bay.
John, inside the 20-yard line, that's what the Bills call their red area. And that's what they've tried to work on so much, is trying to get that football across that goal line inside that red area. You see Carl Gardner coming up. Boy, I tell you, he's just leg pumping and driving, and he sees that goal line, but he just couldn't put it across there. I think they'll come back again with him.
So now it is 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Hardy Nickerson and Derek Brownlow, the inside backers for Tampa Bay. Just inside the 2. Reed is in motion. Incomplete in the end zone. Jim Kelly rolling to his right, had nowhere to go. In the middle of the offensive line, center John Davis lost his helmet too, trying to pass protect on that play. So the Bills will have to settle for a field goal try. Steve Christie, who just hit a 51-yarder. Christie last year hit 5 field goals of 50 yards or more.
Well, the Bills feels like they should walk away with the 3 points inside of that 20 at a minimum. But like I said, they really want to get those 6 points. And they've been trying all preseason to do that. And I know that's one of the goals that they want to reach before we get into the season, to get better at that.
Christie's kick is up. It is good. And the Bills have a 6-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jeff Wright steps it up with that fumble recovery and run to the 5-yard line. 5:14 to play. First quarter. The Bills 6, the Bucs zip. There's a timeout on the field. We'll be right back after this message.
Tonight's live lottery drawing is brought to you by News Channel 7.
It's New York Lottery's numbers and win for drawings, observed by an auditor from Coopers and Librach.
Good evening. It's Saturday, August 21st, 1993. I'm Kimberly Chapman. Now here's tonight's number. The first ball out is 8. The next is 3, and the last is 1, making tonight's number 831. Here's Stephanie Moore with Win 4.
Thank you. Now for tonight's Win 4 number, the first ball up is 4. The next is 4. The next is 7, and the last is 0, making tonight's Win 4 number 4470. Thank you and good night.
Only at Value Vision can you buy 3 pair of complete single vision glasses for the low price of $99 and choose from every frame on display, not just limited styles or limited selections. Only at Value Vision.
Yeah, Chuck. It's unbelievable, Sam. Wojcinski's literally making them, tying them, and packing them fresh, even as we speak. That's Wojcinski for you. That's why all Old Man River fire-roasted hot dogs and kielbasa taste so good. They're plumper, they're meatier, and they're fresh, Sam. I'm telling you, these babies are fresh.
Visit Old Man River's new location on the Boulevard in Tonawanda.
Bills kicking off again, leading 6-0 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 5 minutes, 14 seconds left to play. Anthony Munoz left the game on that Jeff Wright fumble recovery. Hurt his right shoulder and has been taken to the Tampa Bay locker room. Steve Christie booms another one into the end zone. Workman will have to down it there. And he is unhappy, Jerry. You're right. Here are guys trying to make the team, trying to show something, and all they can do is down the ball in the end zone. They're doing that pretty well, we should say.
A great job at it. He's really frustrated. When you see him slam that ball to the turf, he's frustrated because he knows this is his time to shine. And if he can't get that ball out any better than that, he's not happy at all. He's not a happy camper.
We pick a player of the game right now. It is obviously Steve Christie. He's kicked 3 kickoffs into the end zone. He has hit a 51-yard field goal and a 19-yard field goal. And the Bills lead at 6-0. Tampa ball from their own 20-yard line. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers for the Bucs. DeBerg. He's in trouble. He is sacked. Steve DeBerg brought down by Phil Hansen. Bennett on the pressure that time, and Hansen finished him off.
You're going to see Hansen show up on the left side of the screen. DeBerg looks. He never saw him. He was looking downfield, waiting for the receiver to get open, and boom, right in the stomach. He felt it, but he never saw him.
So now on the sack, it is a loss of 12 yards. It is 2nd and 22 from the 8-yard line. Hansen came right over Pat Tomberlin that time. Vince Workman with the football across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Nate Odoms gets tangled up on the far sideline with one of the Tampa wide receivers Jeff Wright on the tackle. Kurt Schultz gets a chance to start tonight with Henry Jones out with that injury, Jerry.
Yeah, he's had to throw himself into a unique position, but hey, he's taking charge there, and he knows this is his opportunity to shine and get himself on some film, and hopefully they can use him a lot more during the season.
3rd and 20 for the Bucs. They're in the shotgun again. Outlet pass to Workman. There's a flag down. Workman across the 15 to the 18-yard line, but a flag down on the near sideline. And a Bills player down on the field.
I think
Mickey Washington slow to his feet, but he appears to be okay now. Penalty coming up against the Bills, according to Bob McElwee. Well, News Channel 7 is the place to be every Monday night this fall for ABC's Monday Night Football. The Bills figuring prominently all season long, beginning October 11th when they play Houston at Rich Stadium. On November 1st, the Redskins visit the Bills. 2 weeks later, Buffalo at Pittsburgh. ABC Monday Night Football on WOKR 13 and WKBW News Channel 7, your hometown team. Kirby Jackson called for that penalty, illegal use of hands. They helped Mickey Washington to the sideline. It's a first down for Tampa after the penalty. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Dossie is in motion. Draw play. Reggie Cobb gets to the 18-yard line and not much more than that.
John, a lot of times offenses, they use the man in motion just to give the quarterback a chance to try to figure out what the defense may possibly be. If a guy goes with the man in motion, the chances are it's going to be a man-type coverage, or if he doesn't go across the line with him, it's a possible zone. So it gives him kind of a pre-snap look as to what to expect before the ball is snapped.
Cobb got less than a yard on that play. It is 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line. Bucs go without a huddle, but they take their time at the line of scrimmage. Steve DeBerg looking to throw. Finds Dossie. He is surrounded by Bills and ruled down at the 22-yard line. They'll give him 7 yards on that pass play. Mark Maddox there to apply the hit. Cornelius Bennett helping out, and DeBerg wants to keep the offense moving.
See the receiver here, he's going in motion. He just sets it down. He sees the zone back out of there. He wants to set down in front of the linebackers, and that's where his route is. That's his responsibility. Sit right down in front of him. The quarterback sees you and pops you right across there.
3rd and 2 for Tampa Bay at their own 23. Movement on the line. The flags go down. It's a free play for DeBerg. Pass complete to Reggie Cobb. He's still going.
He's still going. Backside.
Now he fumbles. And I believe he has recovered. There are flags down also. Flag down near the line of scrimmage and a flag down where the play ended. Wow.
That almost looked like a Don Beebe against Kansas City last week.
That's a 60-yard pass play, but let's see what the flags mean. And now a scrum down at the 17-yard line. Reggie Cobb, who gained 1,170 yards last year, was the most valuable player. Bills say they have it, and the referee says it's Buffalo ball.
Big play. As I talked about earlier, John, you don't want to give that free play to the Bucs, okay? You want to get in there and try to stop that quarterback from throwing that football down the field.
You'll want to take another look at this one. It goes 60 yards. Now, there's a flag back near the line of scrimmage and a flag where the play ended, so we have not seen the end of this play yet. Reggie Cobb roaming through the Buffalo secondary. Still going. He had a great year last year. He was stripped by James Williams of the Bills. Everybody marching back, and the Buffalo defense coming back on the field because this penalty goes against the Bills.
That was a big play by J.D. Williams there, coming up on the outside of him, and they try to teach a guy, if you're running downfield and the guy never sees you, the ball is exposed, just rip away at it and tear the football out of there, and that's exactly what happened, and Buffalo got it. Well, we had it.
Offsides on the play, way back at the line of scrimmage. So the Bills are still playing defense after that wild 60-yard play. Reggie Cobb with a great year last year, and this is his first action of the preseason because of a hamstring pull. First and 10, the Bucs at their own 28-yard line. The Bills lead it 6-0 inside 2 minutes to go, first quarter. DeBerg under center this time, and again whistles. And the Bucs call a timeout. DeBerg had a problem apparently trying to get his play call. Bills in front 6-0. There's a timeout on the field, and we'll be back in a moment.
It's Jackson Music. All major brands. Don't buy a thing in music until you see Jackson, or you'll wish you did.
Phillips Brothers Supply. Tools are our business, and nobody does it better. Brothers Supply, 2525 Kensington Avenue, Amherst.
What's new with the Albright Knox? An exhibition of sports photographs. This Sporting Life through August 29th.
Ron Corvo's 11th anniversary sales event starts Monday. Save thousands on all remaining 93 Oldsmobiles and Subarus. Ron Corvo Oldsmobile Subaru, West Seneca Thruway, exit 55 East. Eyewitness News at 6, your hometown team.
Bills in front 6-0 on a couple of Steve Christie field goals. Some of the fans here at Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida, they had hoped to get 35,000 or more. They may get something slightly less than that for this game, featuring the three-time defending AFC champions and a team that has lost 10 games or more for 10 straight years. Tampa ball, first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Steve DeBerg, the starting quarterback for the Bucs, and has probably won that job this preseason. Oh, that one is almost intercepted. Richard Harvey, the Buffalo linebacker, had a shot at that one and could not hang on. Pass intended for the rookie wide receiver, Lamar Thomas.
Well, you can see they're letting Maddox just come right in there. No one's trying to stop him at all. They're putting a lot of pressure on DeBerg, and that's what we're going to have, fortunately. But he's able to get the ball downfield to someone.
Second and 10 for the Bucs at their own 28-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 1 running back in the game for Tampa. DeBerg to throw. This one incomplete. Bruce Smith pressuring DeBerg along with Jeff Wright. Pass intended again for Lamar Thomas.
John, overall, I'm really impressed with the defensive play of the Buffalo Bills thus far tonight. They've really done an outstanding job. They can just eliminate some of the unnecessary penalties. I think would be a little more effective here.
Third down, 10 yards to go. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at their own 28-yard line.
Maddox was, again, all in his face, and that's what you have to do. Put that pressure on that quarterback and make him make those quick decisions and make mistakes along the way.
Shotgun, DeBerg to throw, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Wright hops on top of it, but I believe that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass.
That had to be by Phil Hansen. He does that in practice every week. He drives Jim Kelly crazy. Gets his hands up in there and just knocks that ball down. And
that's who it was. That was Phil Hansen who knocked it down. You're absolutely right.
I think he's patting that move.
So the Bucs have to punt. Dan Straczynski is their punter, the incumbent. And the deep man for the Bills is Chris Hale. Another stop for the Buffalo defense. It's blocked. And the ball is loose, and the Bucs come up with it. That is Joe King. He's brought down, and the Bills will take over at Tampa's 33-yard line. Steve Tasker with the block. Carwell Gardner brings down Joe King in disaster for Tampa Bay.
Steve Tasker, All-Pro, special teams, MVP, Pro Bowl. Should get right through there. Oh, and he takes the punter out.
Boy, perfect technique by Tasker.
Lays right out there at the point of contact on that football. That's what he does best. And boy, I'm telling you, he is the best at it. There are none in the league that can handle what Steve Tasker does so well.
Joe King was there to come up with a loose ball because it appeared that Tasker got around him to block that punt. 1st and 10 for the Bills at the Tampa Bay 33. They're up 6-0. Carwell Gardner stumbling his way around the right side and finally hauled down at the 29-yard line. Demetrius DeBose on the tackle for Tampa. He's their 2nd-round draft pick out of Notre Dame.
And a host of about 9 others. Carwell's a big fullback, a hard fullback to bring down, and that's a big plus for him. And it keeps his legs driving upfield, and that's the key to that.
2nd down play. Kelly fires complete to Reed, and he's down at the 26-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. Mayhew on the tackle for Tampa. So everything has gone right for Buffalo so far. They lead it 6-0. Less than a minute to go, 1st quarter. Brooks and Beebe are the wideouts.
Almost right, John. We still have to get in the end zone.
Kelly in the shotgun. It is 3rd and 3 at Tampa's 25-yard line. Brooks, Beebe, and Reed. Awalt, the tight end, flip-flops from one side to the other. Ken Davis is the lone setback. 3rd down pass play. Incomplete to Andre Reed. Ricky Reynolds, the cornerback, in coverage, and here comes Steve Christie again. Well, Reed made a spectacular catch early on, but could not get down far enough to grab that pass from Kelly.
Yeah, that one was just a little bit low, but he did give it a good try.
So Christie will line up for what will be a 44-yard, 43-yard field goal attempt.
We
out
may
of the
have
hold of Frank Wright.
We may have to soak his leg in ice after the game here.
Gets into this one, and this one is good. And the Bills lead it 9-0. Well, so far, so good for Steve Christie. A successful homecoming for him as he plays against his former teammates. Christie was a kicker at Tampa for 2 years. Came to the Bills in Plan B before the '92 season. Head coach Marv Levy and then general manager Bill Polian identified him as a player they definitely wanted in the Plan B pool. And even after Christie, depending on who you believe, Christie apparently told the Bucs that he would not leave in Plan B. He decided he would leave in Plan B. Get a little bit closer to his home in Canada and maybe pick up some money too.
Well, the opportunity came up, and I guess he took advantage of it. But I'm sure all the scouting department here in Tampa tonight are biting their nails and grunting very hard because they let him get away. And we're very fortunate to have him there.
That guy cried foul too. Sam Weitz, the Tampa Bay coach, thought that Christie had reneged on a promise. Christie said no such promise existed rather. And now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are down 9-0 because of Steve Christie. That scoring drive goes 6 yards, 4 plays, and 1:14 seconds. Christie with his 3rd field goal of the night. One from 51 yards, one from 19 yards, and this last one, 43 yards. And Christie has boomed kickoffs into the end zone so far, the first 3. Let's see what he does here. Hawkins and Workman are the kickoff return men. This one is a little shorter, but good hang time. From the 5, Courtney Hawkins. Met and dropped at the 22-yard line. Sebastian Savage, the Bills rookie, on the tackle. 8 seconds left first quarter. The Bucs get another drive start. This one from the 22-yard line. Now the Bills working some of their second unit defensive team in there. John Perella is in there at one defensive end along with Oliver Barnett at the other. James Patton is on the nose. David White, Richard Harvey are the outside linebackers. 1st and 10 Tampa. DeBerg, Reggie Cobb across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that is going to be it for the first quarter. First quarter dominated by the kicking of Steve Christie. Some great kickoffs and 3 field goals. And at the end of the first quarter, the Bills lead it by a score of 9-0. We'll be right back after this message.
Replacing 3 100-watt incandescent bulbs with 3 26-watt compact fluorescent bulbs can save you more than $33 per year. For more information on how Niagara Mohawk can help you get the best of energy, call 1-800-NIAGRA. You could win $5,000 towards the purchase of any energy-saving products with Niagara Mohawk's Energy Efficiency Sweepstakes. You could buy a more efficient refrigerator or cut heating and cooling costs with new super-efficient windows, whatever your home or business may need. Remember, by investing in energy efficiency, you'll save energy and money for years to come. 3 grand prizes will be awarded, and there are lots of second and third place prizes, too. Look for details on an entry form coming soon in your newspaper. Niagara Mohawk, helping you get the best of energy.
Recycle, reuse, reduce. 3 buzzwords you're hearing a lot. But at the White Directory Talking Phone Book, they're words of commitment. The Talking Phone Book is proud to be leading the environmental effort by recycling our old phone books into other useful products. As a local company whose employees live and work in Western New York, we care. Recycle your old talking phone books at all Erie County Tops Friendly Markets locations. Let's start reusing our products and reducing our waste. Recycling program ends September 19th.
Yes, there are Bills fans here in Central Florida, and about 500 Bills fans, members of the Bills Backers International, in attendance tonight. Some of them from the Tampa, St. Petersburg area, some from Fort Myers, Florida, and some from here in Orlando, Florida. Bills lead it 9-0 as we get set to start the second quarter. Nothing like Bills fans, too, Jerry. They swarm around the hotel lobby. They were all over you, I know that.
Everywhere you go, they show up.
Didn't you used to be Albert Dubenion? I heard somebody say that too. 2nd and 5 for the Bucs at the 27-yard line. Draw play. That's Mazio Royster, and Royster is met by 3 or 4 Bills at the 28-yard line. Maybe a gain of a yard. Mazio Royster, an 11th round pick a year ago, out of California, played in 5 games last year, has had a good camp for Tampa Bay. Bucs without a hope. Credit Monty Brown with that tackle. 3rd and 4 at the 28-yard line. DeBerg finds his man wide open is Courtney Hawkins. And Hawkins gets enough for the first down out to the 40-yard line. A 12-yard pickup. Brown and Jackson on the stop for Buffalo.
The receiver knows that it's zone coverage. All he has to do is push Kirby off and then just sit right down. DeBerg does a good job of timing that up and getting the football out there to him. 1st and 10 from the 40. Royster again, right side, and he'll get 2 or 3 yards on that carry, close to the 45-yard line. David White on the tackle for the Bills. David White, a rookie out of Nebraska, 6'2", 235 pounds. One of those players who has to be more than a little concerned about Tuesday at noon. The first cut down to 60. 2nd and 6 for the Bucs at their own 44-yard line. Long count for DeBerg. Anthony McDowell across midfield into Buffalo territory. They'll mark it at the Bills' 49-yard line. I think DeBerg is trying to use that long count to try to draw the defense off sides again. He's done that a couple times early in the first quarter. Very effective. But this time, he had to just stay in there until he got real hoarse because no one jumped and got off sides. Because I tell you, these referees are ready to throw the flags at us tonight. 1st and 10. That pickup good enough for the first down. Ball at the Buffalo 49-yard line. Second quarter, just a couple of minutes old. Bills up 9-0. 3 Steve Christie field goals. Royster, left side this time, across the 45 to the Buffalo 44-yard line. Richard Harvey on the tackle for Buffalo. Tampa Bay tries to get outside, but you can see Harvey dodge back inside. He sheds his block, and that's what you want to do. You want to try to turn the play inside and get back in there and force where you've got some help inside.
2nd and 5 for the Bucs. The ball at the Bills' 44-yard line. And the tailback, Royster, again. Wrestled to the ground at the 40-yard line. Monty Brown, Keith Gugenius on the stop for Buffalo.
Tampa Bay is doing a very good job right now mixing it up between the pass and the run and moving it down the football field. And Buffalo is definitely going to have to do something pretty soon to try and slow that down.
Going to bring the chains out and get a measurement here. And Steve DeBerg takes the opportunity to go to his sideline to talk it over with Sam White. Coming this September to WOKR 13 and News Channel 7, the official word, the official program of the Buffalo Bills, hosted by News Source 13 Sports Director Mike Catalana and yours truly. Get the inside information on the Bills with the official word. Look at that play again. Mazio Royster on the carry. 6'1", 200 pounds, good size, in his 2nd year out of California. And a good tackle there by Monty Brown. They are short of the first down. It is 3rd and inches from the Buffalo 40-yard line.
Monty Brown has had an excellent camp. He's been very effective in all the preseason games. He's coming on very strong, and he's a guy that's got a good chance of making this football team.
DeBerg with the football now, 3rd down and just inches to go for the first down. Royster loses the ball, gets it back, loses it again. Loose ball still. And finally the Bucs get it at the 40-yard line. Royster had a couple of cracks at it. Closest build to it was Kurt Schultz. Credit Scott Dill with the fumble recovery, their starting left tackle. What a wild play that was.
He just never could tuck it away. Maybe he's starting to sweat really bad out there. He just never could tuck that ball away, and it slipped right out of his belly button.
Bills' Oliver Barnett looked like he had a shot at it too. Well, they'll measure for the first down, and they're still short. It'll be 4th down, and the Bucs, who were stopped on a 4th and inches earlier in this game, look like they're going to go for it again.
Well, you know, with Jim Kelly on the sideline, seeing DeBerg out there in his 17th season, he's got to be feeling pretty good because he knows he's got a good opportunity of being in the league after his 17th year in the league.
It's 4th and inches at the 40-yard line. That's a long time to play any position in this game, let alone quarterback, isn't it?
And he'll probably wind up starting when the season starts, too.
4th and inches. McDowell has the first down. Put his head down and burrowed through the left side of the offensive line. First down Tampa. They failed on their 4th and inches play back in the first quarter. But they got it here, attacking the left side of the Buffalo, or the left side of their offensive line. Big pile up there.
Didn't have much of a hole at all. I think he just buried his head and tried to pick up as much yardage as he could.
1st and 10 for the Bucs at the Buffalo 38-yard line. Bills lead it 9-0. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. Steve DeBerg, who played just 1 quarter against Atlanta last week, is getting a longer stint here. Reverse. Tripped up. Great play by the Bills' Keith Willis on the reverse. Charles Wilson was the man with the football. Took the handoff from Anthony McDowell.
You'll see Willis coming up on the inside there. Oh, great play.
Boy, he really beat his man, too.
And those type of plays are really hard to stop. If you can get in there and get your hand in to stop some traffic like that, you're doing pretty good. And Keith did a wonderful job of getting inside and breaking that play up.
2nd down, 20 yards to go. A loss of 10 yards on that reverse. And now movement, and Willis jumps early. Keith Willis beat his man badly the play before, Scott Dill. And he was able to trip up Charles Wilson on the reverse.
It's that long
this time Willis jumped early.
Snap count. Bird's very good at that. Voice deflections.
2nd down.
I don't know if that's legal or not, but he seems to draw our they seem to draw the defense off a lot of times with that.
I guess the rule states you can't bob your head up and down. I don't know, DeBerg wasn't doing much bobbing really, but he was, who knows what his voice was doing. 5 yards on the penalty. 2nd and 15. Bucks with the ball on the Bills 43. Swing pass complete to Royster. Knocked down on the far sideline by Kirby Jackson and David White. That'll be a gain of 3 yards on that play. 3rd and 12 coming up for the Bucks.
That's that little relief valve there. If you're looking downfield and you can't see anything and the linebackers aren't coming, sometimes you just drop that halfback out over there in the flat and just dump it off to him.
Well, the Bills have racked up the penalty yardage, 8 of them for 55 yards in this game. That is not a stat that Marv Levy will look kindly towards at the end of this first half. 3rd down, 13 yards to go for the first down for Tampa Bay. Bills lead it 9-0. DeBerg to throw on 3rd and 13. Got a man wide open, Lawrence Dawsey, but he overthrew him. Darrell Wren, Kurt Schultz over there in coverage for Buffalo, but Steve DeBerg just misfired with Lawrence Dawsey.
He looks real upset about that one, rightfully so, and I'm sure the receiver is a little bit upset too.
Well, now, Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong, but receivers do make mistakes sometimes, right? And sometimes they can cut a route a little bit early than they're supposed to, maybe cross up a quarterback that way.
No, that's always his responsibility. You know that now.
An overthrow is an overthrow.
There you go. I always say if it touches the receiver's hand, it's the receiver's fault, but if it never gets there, it's the quarterback.
Straczynski to punt. Chris Hale is the deep man for Buffalo, signaling for the fair catch. And he's got it at the 12-yard line.
John, let's face it, Marv Levy wants to eliminate the unnecessary penalties. You saw earlier that we had 8 so far, and the Bills have just got to get out of that. You just can't keep doing that and get back to the Super Bowl.
They lead it 9-0 with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. We'll be back in a moment.
It seems like everyone's trying to make friends with the environment. Products that respect nature, safe for the environment. You hear it all. There is a product that has always been efficient, natural, clean. It's natural gas. That's right, natural gas from National Fuel. You might say we've always had an environmental program.
What have you got, Captain?
We've never tracked anything like this before, sir.
Status.
Still checking, sir.
Isolating to Buffalo, Rochester Center.
We have satellite. Get it on the main screen now.
Now appearing in the skies over Darien Lake, it's an entirely new laser light fantasy. Don't miss it.
My kids are gonna love this.
Who's collecting? McDonald's! NFL kickoff payoff points!
Pull your kickoff payoff tab to find out how many points you've scored.
Touchdown! I got 6 points!
Save 10 points for a sheet of NFL player trading cards.
You got Williams. Give you Nelson.
So collect kickoff payoff points and win.
What you want is what you get.
Play kickoff payoff.
McDonald's today.
Or you can buy your limited edition kickoff payoff uncut trading card sheets. Available now at any participating McDonald's.
Well, Jim Kelly gets his quarter plus, and now it is Frank Reich at quarterback for Buffalo. The Bills cut Matt Rogers on Wednesday, so they have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. They'll play them all tonight. Frank Reich starts this drive for Buffalo from his own 12-yard line. Bills in front 9-0, 8.5 minutes to go in the first half, and Reich is the new quarterback. He's got a brand new offensive line in there. Carwell Gardner gets the carry. Gardner, a gain of 2. Jim Kelly, fairly sharp today, 5 of 9, 34 yards passing.
He had a wonderful first half. First quarter. He's really coming together, and he knows he was only going to get a little bit of action tonight, and he wants to try to get in there and do the best job that he possibly can that short time he was going to be in there.
And now movement, and the flags go down. Well, you know what's interesting, Jerry? Kelly now with 9 passing attempts today. Only had attempted 13 passes coming in. 4 preseason games. Jim Kelly has only thrown 22 passes, which is not a lot of work. Now, not that he's old, but there is an element of resting his arm a little bit this summer, isn't there?
Well, I think Gil Gilbert is the one that's getting all the work. But in practice, you know, he has to get that type of work. And sometimes in in preseason, you don't really know what the strategy is going to be, and I think last week he got a lot of chances against KC to throw the football, and of course tonight he's out for the rest of the game. We won't see him again until Atlanta next week.
Well, it's Frank's right game for now anyway. The call is offsides against Tampa, 2nd and 5, and here goes Carwell Gardner again. Puts his head down, carries a few bucks with him, and gets enough for the first down at the 26-yard line. Tackle made by Marty Carter, who just returned to the fold for Tampa Bay. Jerry Crafts with a good lead block that time for Carwell Gardner. Bills still without a huddle.
Crafts a big man. Just get behind him, and he'll clear the path.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line for the Bills, up 9-0. We're in the middle of the 2nd quarter from the Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Gardner again to the 30-yard line. Carwell's going to get his carry tonight, apparently. Carter on the stop for Tampa Bay. Carwell Gardner, who's already scored 2 touchdowns in this preseason for the Bills.
And we've had to call his name a lot tonight, haven't we?
2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line. Carwell again, but he's not going anywhere this time.
No,
Brett Paul made the tackle for Tampa Bay.
I think they guessed that play.
Yeah. So it'll bring up 3rd down for the Bills. Chris Walsh comes in as an extra wide receiver. 9-0, the Bills in front. Steve Christie field goals of 51 yards, 19 yards, and 44 yards.
Well, Chris is leading the receivers for the preseason. He's caught 11 passes for 159 yards at an average of 14.5. He's going pretty good this preseason.
3rd and 6. Reich under pressure overthrows Carwell Gardner. Frank Reich had to unload before he was hit by Al Chamblee, who's in at defensive end for Tampa Bay. Frank Reich unloads, and Gardner wasn't ready for it.
He sets up. You see him looking to his right. Just couldn't get it out in time.
Al Chamblee blew right through there. Nobody picked him up as he came in. First we've seen of Chris Moore, another former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He is in to punt for Buffalo. Tyree Davis is the return man for Tampa. Good high punt by Chris Moore. Davis dives forward and gets it at the 32-yard line. Tyree Davis, the punt return man for Tampa Bay. 5:53 left to play, 2nd quarter. Bills lead it with a timeout on the field. We'll break for this commercial.
The call comes down from Canada. Crisp, clean, refreshing Molson.
Is this your average quiet night in?
Showtime.
Alex. Hi, I'm not disturbing anything, am I? No, just a quiet night in. Oh, sounds like it. Beer? Yeah, please.
Is this your average beer? Molson Special Dry. It just could be the best beer ever brewed, anytime, anywhere.
In short, gentlemen, our capitalization plan has paid handsome dividends. Johnson here will fill you in on the details.
Thank you, JP. Let me begin by saying, we've been acquired.
By whom? The Omega Corporation?
No, Chuck from the mailroom.
Howdy, boys. Ms. Whitaker.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Coffee, Johnson.
How to be hip. Please obey all current trends. Remember, looking good is bad, but looking bad is good. The look that says plastic, that says I paid too much, that says I am fabulous. A fabulous sheep and a marvelous herd of sheep that says I am hip.
Introducing Riders jeans and casual wear. Be yourself.
Bill's 2nd-round draft choice, John Perella, 6'3", 296-pounder from Nebraska. And he's had a good camp and a couple of good preseason games. New quarterback in the game for Tampa Bay. It is Craig Erickson from the University of Miami. 1st and 10 Bucks at their own 32-yard line. Bills up 9-0. here in the second quarter. That is Anthony McDowell to the 32-yard line and pushed out of bounds by Anthony Fieldings, Bills inside linebacker.
John, going back to Perella, last week against Kansas City Chiefs, he had an outstanding football game, and I think he just really came together that time, and I think we're going to see great things from this guy this football season.
John Perella probably has earned a spot on this roster. It is second down, 10 yards to go from the 32-yard line. No gain at all on that first down play. Craig Erickson under center. He was the Bucs' 4th-round draft choice a year ago. His first pass attempt, and it's complete to Royster to the 39-yard line. He'll be short of a first down by a couple of yards. Oliver Barnett came over from his defensive end spot to make the tackle. Craig Erickson did not play well last week in the Tampa Bay game against Atlanta. Misfired several times.
There's that little swing pass right out to the right there. The halfback looked upfield, didn't see the linebacker coming. His responsibility is to get out wide, and that was still kind of a relief valve for the quarterback, and he just dumped it right out there and picked up those yardage.
So the Bucs, without a huddle, 3rd and 2 from their own 40-yard line. Erickson, long count, drops back, complete, and that should do it for a first down. Anthony McDowell on the catch for Tampa Bay. Kevin O'Brien over there to make the tackle for Buffalo. First down for Tampa Bay.
So on both Erickson and Burke, they're going with that long snap count, trying to draw Buffalo offsides, and it's not working yet, but it's taking a long time to get those plays off.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Bills up 9-0. Erickson throwing again. Wide open and drop. Oh, what a drop that was. His man was wide open down the field. Ty J. Armstrong. That can't help.
Now ask me if it was the quarterback's fault.
Yeah, that was the quarterback's fault. Ty J. Armstrong, the tight end, wide open downfield.
Just wide open.
Yikes.
I'm not even sure how he got so open. But
second down, 10 yards to go.
I think Fieldings were covering him, though. I think that was his responsibility, and he just beat him through there.
Deep drop for Erickson. Going for it all. And there's an obvious pass interference call coming against Darrell Wren of the Bills. Tyree Davis, the rookie wide receiver, trying to run underneath that pass from Craig Erickson. Tyree Davis was their 7th-round pick out of Central Arkansas. He's got good speed.
Well, they see they got Buffalo in that zone coverage. He just beats his man inside, and the receiver pushes back out in front of him, and I think they just tripped each other. But, hey, it went against Buffalo.
Pass interference. Darrell Wren gets flagged for a pass interference. Been sort of an up and down preseason for Darrell Wren, and that will qualify in his book as a downer, I'm sure. First down Tampa at the Bills 19-yard line.
Buffalo electing to go into mostly zone coverage right now, and the quarterback will pick you apart underneath and occasionally try to go long.
Vince Workman to the 10-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on that carry. Vince Workman comes over from the Green Bay Packers via free agency. Tackle made by Anthony Fieldings and Matt Darby. Workman had some good years for Green Bay. 2nd and 1, the ball at Buffalo's 10-yard line. Bills in front 9-0, but Tampa may be ready to score. Now Erickson takes his time at the line of scrimmage. Workman again. Inside the 10-yard line.
They only had 2 yards to pick up to get a first down to start that series over, and I think they'll probably just keep running the football to try to chop away at that first down. Let's see what type of yardage they picked up that time.
Jason Carthen on the stop for Buffalo. Rookie out of Ohio University, 6'3", 255 pounds. May have to bring the chains out here to see if it is a first down.
Well, defensively, this is a tight area here. That's what I said earlier. This is the red area. Your back's against the wall. You know you don't have much further to back up before someone scores in front of you. And the Bills have, hopefully they're going to hold their own right here. I don't know. They've been pushed down the field very easily. And right now, let's see who gets on the board first.
They're that short of a first down, about 1 foot short, so it'll be 3rd down and a foot to go. Erickson over on the sidelines talking to his coach, and there's Bills head coach Marv Levy. For the latest on the Bills, you can't get any closer than Bills Scoreboard with Steve Tasker Saturday nights at 7:30. Steve joins us again this year to kick off a brand new season of Bills Scoreboard at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, September 4th, here on WKBW-TV in Buffalo, News Channel 7, your hometown team. So here come the Bucs now. With 3rd and a foot to go, a long drive. This is the 7th play. They trail it 9-0. The ball at the Bills' 10-yard line.
I would guess that they would run. And I'm wrong.
Erickson looking into the end zone. Incomplete, and the flag down there.
Flag goes down.
Are they going to whistle Darrell Wren for pass interference there? And was that a catchable ball?
I don't think it was a catch. Well, if I was down there, it might have been a catchable ball. But I'm not down there, so the ball was probably not catchable. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I've seen your vertical leap. Is it defensive holding against Buffalo? Long conversation with Bob McElwee and his crew now. That ball sailed through the end zone.
The ball was uncatchable. Uncatchable ball. 4th down.
No foul, uncatchable ball. Bob McElwee straightened things out. So now it is 4th down and a foot to go. Maybe they should have run on 3rd and a foot, Jerry.
Well, he got me. I would have bet probably $10 out of 11 that they would have ran for that one, because I thought they had the first down on the last play, and they only had inches to go, so I guess they figured it was worth a gamble.
That pass intended for Horace Copeland, their 4th-round draft pick out of Miami. 4th and a foot. This is the 3rd time Tampa has gone for the 4th down conversion. Successful on one of the first 2. Workman. Flag down. Workman wrestled out of bounds on the far sideline. Matt Darby brought him down, but there is a penalty on the play.
I'm not going to guess who that might be against.
Holding against the Bucs.
10 yards, still 4th down.
Do it all over again.
That was a big break for Buffalo there.
Ron Hall, the tight end, the man flagged for holding. Right-hand side of the offensive line, Ron Hall hauled his man down. Hauled down Kevin O'Brien, the Bills' outside linebacker. Now it is 4th and 11, and now it's a field goal try for Michael Houston, rookie out of Virginia. He is the #1 kicker right now for Tampa Bay. Straczynski is the holder for the Bucs. Houston to try a 37-yarder, but wait, whistles. And a flag down. I don't see a flag anywhere, but the whistles were blowing.
Well, we're back to the same thing. Who will be the first one to cross the goal line?
No play. 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning, but there's 2:02 on one clock, 2 minutes on the other clock. We have reached the 2-minute warning. Bills up 9-0. There's a pause in the action, and we'll take time out for this message.
It's summer clearance time at your Hyundai dealer. And with factory cash back up to $2,000, it's the best time of the year to buy the Hyundai of your choice. Get into a thrifty new Excel right now for as little as $6,804. Plus, you can make no down payment and no payments for 90 days. And on top of all that, you get 2 years of scheduled service at no charge. So for big savings, no down payment and no payments for 90 days. Get into your Hyundai dealer today. Hurry in now for the best selection during summer clearance time. Ends Labor Day.
TGI Fridays. Take one.
Hey, Henderson, you call that barbecuing? What are those, weenies? You obviously haven't heard of the barbecued bacchanali at TGI Fridays. Barbecued wings, steak, Aussie, tasty barbecued chicken and ribs, or a combo of both. Say, Henderson, speaking of weenies, where'd you get that mud?
Fridays Down Home Barbecue. Everyone looks forward to Fridays.
It's estimated that by the time your kid gets to college, a 4-year degree will cost around $100,000. Maybe you should start saving now at Office Max.
Get organized and save with Avery Ready Index Systems, just $157 to $679. And save on perforated writing pads, hanging file folders, and index cards from SCM.
Of course, they could get a scholarship. Better take your savings to the max. Office Max, the office product superstore where savings is the bottom line.
All rights to this telecast or portions thereof are the property of the Buffalo Bills and WKBW-TV. Any rebroadcast or other use of this program without the express consent of the Bills and WKBW Television is strictly prohibited, and the announcers for this telecast have been selected and compensated by WKBW Television. Michael Houston, rookie from Virginia, good kickoff man and 1 of 2 on field goal attempts this year, is going to try a 37-yard field goal for Tampa Bay as soon as the cheerleaders leave the field on the far side.
They're going to get in on some of the action, too.
Here we go. Straczynski is the holder. The Bucs trying to get on the board. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Houston puts Tampa Bay on the board. Field goal for the rookie, Michael Houston. 1:56 left to play. First half, the Bills lead it 9-3. We'll return after these messages.
Well, it's been a fantastic summer in Western New York, and there's still plenty of great summer weather left, so Recreational Warehouse is having their annual summer clearance sale with savings up to 50% on selected products, like swimming pools. Save big time on year-end closeouts. And if you buy your pool now, we'll install it for only $99. Want a spa instead? Well, we've got hundreds of spas to choose from, all to be sold at discount prices with great features like neck jets and gas heaters. Also, patio furniture, blowout sale on floor samples, scratch and dent, and closeouts all must go. So stop by Recreational Warehouse in North Tonawanda and save.
Skin Is, the paramedical skincare clinic of Western New York. For over 10 years, Skin Is has been providing its clients with personal, concise information on the understanding of skincare. Skin Is offers successful treatments of acne, sun-damaged skin, scarring, wrinkles, shaving problems, hirsutism, and others. So if you are truly serious about the health and well-being of your skin, call Skin Is and make an appointment today at 836-3427.
The hottest deals, the coolest wheels, the bestest sale. It's the Ford hottest, coolest, bestest summer sale. Now get $1,000 cash back, $1,000, or take $500 cash back and 6.9 APR financing on a new '93 Ford Taurus, America's bestest selling car. So hurry, the hottest deals on the coolest wheels are at the bestest summer sale. Now at your participating Ford dealer. It's time to enjoy driving again.
Bills goal line. Inside 2 minutes to go. First half. It is 9-3. The Bucs just on the scoreboard. The Bills in front 9-3. Nate Turner and Bob Gordon, the kickoff return men for Buffalo. Gordon will start from the 3. And he'll get to the 13-yard line. Roger Jones on the stop for Tampa Bay. And a mix-up now on the field.
That's a little mix-up here.
Yep.
One referee goes out.
See who's in the middle of that. Richard Harvey pushing and shoving inside there. Keith Gogenius, Carwell Gardner, and a bunch of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now Western New York's favorite 5 o'clock anchor team takes you all the way to Eyewitness News at 6 with Herb Weinstein. Join Keith Radford and Kathleen Layton for Eyewitness News at 5 and our new Eyewitness News at 5:30 here on News Channel 7, your hometown team. Take a look all the way down the field at Curtis Buckley, special teamer for Tampa Bay, and he's the man who finally finished off Bob Gordon. Bills drive start their own 14-yard line, up 9-3 with 1:48 left to play in the first half. Frank Reich out of the shotgun now. Got his man at the 20-yard line. Reich completes the pass to Rob Awalt, the backup Bills tight end. Gain of 6 yards on the play. Tackle made by Tony Covington and Roger Jones. And Reich without the huddle. The flags go down.
Buffalo elects to stay with the hurry-up offense. And that's what you're going to find in a hurry-up offense. You're going to find a lot of defense that decide to play zone coverage. And when you do, you're going to have the receiver setting down right in front of those zone coverages. And Frank is very good at picking those zone coverages apart. So let's watch this as it progresses down the football field.
False start charge to Jerry Krafts on that play. Frank Reich has completed 60% of his passes in the preseason going into tonight's game. And all the Bills quarterbacks have a high completion percentage rate in the first 3 preseason games. 2nd and 11 from the 15-yard line, and Reich has to scramble. Got his man, Bill Brooks, at the 22-yard line. Hardy Nickerson makes the tackle for Tampa Bay, and Reich wants to use a timeout with 1:16 left to play in the first half. Bills up 9-3, 1:16 left to play, and we'll be back after these messages.
For the price of basic transportation, the Mitsubishi Eclipse will take you way beyond basic. Now, for as little as $169 a month and $700 down, you too can drive away in a new Eclipse.
You can see and drive an Eclipse at Moulin, Southtown, or Dan Georger Mitsubishi.
You've asked for convenience. Dining Furniture Center, New York State's largest and finest retailer of dining area furniture just off Exit 55. You've asked for quality and selection. Dining Furniture Center, offering you more famous name brand manufacturers than anyone else in Western New York. Dining Furniture Center has finally arrived, and our grand opening brings you additional savings on the finest dinettes and dining rooms available. Dining Furniture Center, just minutes from downtown Buffalo at Exit 55. Not just better prices, better furniture.
Dear Midas customers, some car repair shops advertise low prices, then hit you with hidden costs.
But at Midas, we won't quote you a price until we diagnose the problem and explain our estimate.
I'm Keith Ranford.
And I'm Kathleen Layton. Thanks to you, this summer, more people get their news on Eyewitness News at 5, 5:30, and 6 than from any other source.
Thanks for keeping us #1, because nobody covers your hometown like News Channel 7, your hometown team.
3 field goals for Buffalo, 1 for Tampa Bay. Great defensive first half for the Buffalo Bills, Jerry, but you wonder about the offense with a great chance, at least one, to get in the end zone and failing to do so.
Well, that's the main objective, you know, and I said earlier, once you get inside the 20-yard line, that red area, the main thing is you want to get the football across the goal line. That's what it's all about. But, hey, if you have to take the 3 points, we take the 3 points. They'll add up eventually to win a football game. But both offense and defense just have been playing wonderful out here, pushing each other up and down the football field, and no one can get across the goal line yet.
Bills are in the 2-minute mode here with 1:16 left to play first half. 3rd down and 2 yards to go for the first down from their own 21. Right to throw out of the shotgun. Looks for Brad Lamb, and they'll roll it incomplete on the near sideline. Martin Mayhew in the coverage. Brad Lamb bobbled in, and I thought he had it, but apparently he didn't have it before he got out of bounds. Good job that time by Mayhew to break up the play too, Jerry.
Yeah, Brad had his hands on it, and he came down with it, and Mayhew just stuck his hand in there just at the last little bit and just pulled that ball away. Big play, big play.
So the Bills to punt for the 2nd time. Chris Moore, who spent a year in Tampa Bay as their punter. Tyree Davis is the punt return man. There's another good high punt by Tyree Davis, or by Chris Moore rather. Bounces at the 50 and bounces the wrong way for the Bills. Bills down at Gugenius at the 45-yard line. That one had the hang time, but not a whole lot of yardage on it.
Now that was not a very good one there as far as getting the yardage. Now we're looking at a minute before the half. And I think we probably will see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get out and stay in their hurry-up offense or 2-minute offense and try to punch that football down across the goal line and possibly walk away with a field goal into the half.
Got it, Chris Moore with about a 23-yard punt that time, high but not long. 1st and 10 Tampa at the Bills' 49-yard line. 1 minute exactly to go, first half. Erickson still the quarterback, and in the shotgun now for the Bucs. They have 3 wideouts to the right side. Incomplete, intended for Derek Branch, 8th-round draft pick out of Hawaii. Thomas Smith on the breakup for Buffalo. So now 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Bucs trying to put a few more points on the board before this first halftime expires. Branch in motion. Erickson to throw. Nice catch. Kirby Jackson hauls down the man, but a great catch that time. Horace Copeland, the 4th-round pick out of Florida, Miami of Florida. Clock running, 40 seconds to play, and the Bucs in a hurry.
Bills are playing excellent coverage. He's just getting the ball in there.
3rd down, 2 yards to go for the first. Another good catch. This one for the first down. The ball comes loose, but now they rule it incomplete. Curtis Mayfield, who was in camp last year with the Bills, Mickey Washington was able to jar it loose, so no catch, no first down, and the Bucs will go for it here with 27 seconds left to play. Curtis Mayfield thought he came down with it. Mickey Washington on the stop for Buffalo.
That was definitely a super catch. You went up and you stretched your hands out, and that's what receivers want to do. To be able to catch the football, you want to stretch out as high as you can and catch it with those fingertips and drag that ball in. And when he got down to the ground, Mickey just got his hand and then knocked it out.
Another 4th and short, and another 4th down conversion attempt for the Bucs. Pass complete that time to Mayfield, and that should be enough for a first down. Kurt Schultz on the tackle. Timeout called by Tampa Bay with 20 seconds left to play.
Well, 20 seconds left. And Tampa Bay has still got their sights on the goal line. I'm looking for them to go deep. Let's see, we're looking at a first down. They got a lot of time actually to get that ball across the goal line. So I think that this next play, John, I think they'll come out and throw the ball deep, or at least to the sideline.
Bucs have just 1 timeout remaining. The Bills have 2. You see Bills head coach Marv Levy talking with assistant trainer Bud Carpenter. We told you at the top of the broadcast, Bills center Kent Hull underwent arthroscopic surgery on his knee today in Vail, Colorado. Dr. Stedman, the same doctor who repaired Bruce Smith's knee surgically a few years ago, did the work. Hull is expected to resume lifting weights in the near future, but no timetable yet for his return. He has not practiced yet this preseason. He had arthroscopic surgery in Buffalo back in mid-June. 1st and 10 Tampa. Ball at the Bills' 33-yard line. They trail it 9-3. 20 seconds left in the first half. Craig Erickson is the quarterback, former Miami Hurricane. Looking to throw. That's Hall, the tight end, and he's down at the 25-yard line. The clock continues to run now. 12 seconds, 11 seconds. Malcolm Everett on the stop for the Bills, and Erickson will spike it to stop the clock with 8 seconds left. Now they got to go into the end zone, Jerry.
Yeah, Erickson comes up to the line on that last play there, and he's telling the guys, hey, don't worry about the play. I'm throwing it. I'm getting rid of it. I'm getting rid of it. And he slams it to the turf to try to stop the clock. They're looking at 8 seconds. 2nd down. They either got to decide to go and try and get the first down, or go ahead and take a chance and try and go deep, or possibly about a 15-yard sideline type pass to get out of bounds and stop the clock to get a little closer.
Erickson is going to spend Tampa Bay's final timeout here, and now they're going to try a field goal. Michael Houston will come out with 8 seconds left to try a field goal. It'll be about 43 yards. Tampa wants some points badly, apparently.
Yeah.
It's a team that won just 5 games last year, 5-11. Last time out for Tampa Bay. They were 5-11 last year, 3rd place in the NFC Central. Their chances for improvement, well, you wonder about that. They're without their starting left tackle, Paul Gruber, who was designated their franchise player. Didn't like that designation and didn't like what he was being offered. He has yet to report he is unsigned, with no movement at all in those negotiations.
Well, I probably would expect after the last preseason game you to see more movement towards some type of negotiations, because they got to get Gruber in here.
You know, Tampa's a funny team. We talked about how they've maybe not so funny to the folks at Tampa, but they've lost 10 games or more for the last 10 years, and yet you look at their roster, there are first-round draft picks littered all over that roster.
Yeah, and Bo Jackson was actually a first-round draft choice for them at one time. And look at all the great quarterbacks they've had.
Steve Young was here. All he did was be the MVP last year in the league. It's a 43-yard attempt for Michael Houston with 8 seconds to play in the first half. Straczynski is the holder for Tampa. Ball is on its way. It looks long enough. It is good. It is a 9-6 game, and there are still 3 ticks left on the clock here in the first half.
Well, we may have to soak his leg in ice too during the half.
Steve Christie owned the first half for the Bills as he hit 3 field goals, one of 51 yards, one of 19 yards, and one of 44 yards. Here in the second quarter, Michael Houston for Tampa hits a 37-yarder and a 43-yarder. No one into the end zone yet from either side.
Now you talk about the quarterbacks that they've had here. I remember the stay that Doug Williams had, and Vinny Testaverde, and Steve Young, and now Steve the Bird is back again, and Jack Thompson, and Mark Velasquez. I'm telling you, these guys have been loaded with some quarterbacks.
Not a whole lot to show for it from a franchise standpoint. They have not done much winning here over the last several years, or at least in Tampa, not here in Orlando.
Even one of my favorite quarterbacks in my time in Buffalo, Joe Ferguson. He spent some time here as well and played a couple of seasons for Tampa.
Was he your favorite, Jerry? You played with Kelly a little bit, right?
Yes.
You played with Ferguson. I guess those are the two primary quarterbacks you saw.
Those were two primaries. Most of my time was spent with Ferguson.
Yeah.
And he stayed in the league quite a while.
Sure he did. Had a great career.
Yes, he did.
Houston to kick off for Tampa. This should be the last play of the half. Gordon and Turner are the kickoff return men. A squib kick. Nate Turner trying to pick it up. Starts from the 4. The time has expired, and Turner gets out to the 18-yard line on the kickoff return for Buffalo. So finally, the first half ends. A battle of field goals. The Bills getting 3 Steve Christie field goals in the first quarter. Tampa Bay getting 2 Michael Houston field goals in the second quarter. It is 9-6 at the end of the first half. We'll return after this message and a news update.
Critics are calling Hard Target 100% action. A rocket-powered roller coaster. A supercharged blast of fireworks. With breathtaking, amazing stunts.
How's it feel to be hunted? You tell me.
Legendary director John Woo is a movie magician, and Jean-Claude Van Damme is the #1 action hero in movies today.
He's obviously not someone we should underestimate.
Hard Target, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
It's cleanup countdown time and the complete line of new Pontiacs, like the incredible Grand Prix, with all these options and 3.9% GMAC financing for just $239 a month for 36 months. Plus, you get 3 years of worry-free driving with a free bumper-to-bumper warranty, free 24-hour roadside assistance, even free courtesy transportation, all for just $239 a month. Come test drive any new Pontiac during our cleanup countdown and get this complete car cleanup kit free. It's time to clean up at your Western New York Pontiac dealer now.
On my house, I've got wood and masonry to deal with. So I need a paint that's going to last and look great on both. And my wife tells me I have to find a color to match the flowers. And I want the best paint for the money. Got any brilliant ideas?
Yes, and our annual Benjamin Moore paint sale is now in progress.
Sheely really knows paint. Midtown Buffalo, Amherst, Cheektowaga, and Tonawanda.
From WKBW-TV News Channel 7, this is an Eyewitness News Digest.
Good evening, I'm Jean Hill. Happening in news tonight, Buffalo police express how they feel about their new work shifts. Alex Llewellyn rode along with city police officers tonight and looks at whether or not the new changes are working. The objective is to get more officers on the streets during the usual high crime period. Residents protest in front of an Elk Street church in objection to the St. Stephen's School Hall being used as a halfway house. Later on Eyewitness News at 11, we'll talk to some people who depend on such facilities. A Buffalo minister is threatening to ruin some retail businesses if they don't stop selling illegal drug paraphernalia. Reverend Darius Pridgeon went to 3 city stores today where he says in the past he purchased items like crack bottles and crack baggies over the counter. He was back today with a group of protesters.
We're tired of this kind of stuff. You know what this is? You sell it. You sold it to me on yesterday.
Members of Citizens Against Violence rallied behind Pridgeon and say if store owners don't stop selling the items, they'll picket until the loss of customers forces them to stop. A building demolition blitz is underway in the Queen City. At least 50 buildings on the east side of town have been deemed unsafe. Today, 2 of those buildings were torn down.
They'll have the month of August to come into court if there are any, and then if there are any problems, we'll address those on an individual basis.
Judge Sedita has come down hard on the city's building inspection department. 5 new field inspectors are to be added to the department's crew of 21 over the next few weeks. And now let's go outside to Kevin Stewart for a look at the weather. Kevin?
Well, Gene, with these clear skies and calm winds, all the heat that we collected today, if any, is going straight up into the atmosphere. So that means we're going to have a very cool night tonight. Some folks could see the 40s. Right now, we're at 61 degrees, 48 degrees, the dew point, 62% humidity, a rising barometer, and winds are from the east-southeast at 3. Take a look at the national map, and you can see what's bringing it is that high pressure. But behind it, a low-pressure cell is going to bring us some showers, I'm sorry to say, later in the week. But for the next 24 to 48 hours, look for smooth sailing ahead. AccuWeather says for tonight, look for an overnight low of 52 degrees in the city, clear and cool. Again, some areas inland could see as low as 40 degrees. Those winds will become calm. We could even see some fog possibly in the valleys of the southern tier. A high tomorrow of 80 degrees, mostly sunny and nice. A great day to check out the last day of the fair. And then for tomorrow night, we're going to see a low of about 60, partly cloudy and not as cool. Winds again out of the south to southwest at 6 to 12. So again, tonight is going to be a very cool night with temperatures in the low 50s, 40s for some areas, and then tomorrow back up to 80. So this little taste of fall that's all it is just a little taste, because summertime is still here as those temperatures will be back on the rise. Gene?
Well, I'll take out my sweater and a little blanket, okay?
Stay.
Thanks a lot. Well, that does it for this brief edition of Eyewitness News. We'll be back after the football game for Eyewitness News at 11. Jerry will have results of the Bills game. We'll see you then. Have a good evening.
Travel. Strange places, interesting faces. But frequent travel can be tiring, especially if you stop off to see friends or, like, forget your essay at home. To help keep me going, I resort to Plan A, a balanced diet including milk with energy plus 15 essential nutrients. Because I like to travel, strange places, interesting faces.
How do you define value? Is it just a great price? Or does value mean getting a truck with the best mileage, the best exterior corrosion protection, the best resale value, and more standard horsepower than Ford? That's the way Chevrolet defines a rock-solid value. And right now, there's no finer example than the Chevy CK. Oh, and for that great price, go see your good neighbor Chevrolet Geo dealers for that today.
Art Park celebrates the greatest in American music. The Art Park Folk Festival on Saturday, August 28th at 6 p.m. with special guests Mark O'Connor, Tom Rush, The Roaches, and John and Mary.
Every day.
And on September 3rd and 4th, it's the Art Park Jazz Festival with a dream team of jazz greats. Joe Williams, Ahmad Jamal, Stanley Turrentine, Toots Thielmans, and more. The Art Park Folk Festival, August 28th, and the Art Park Jazz Festival, September 3rd and 4th. For tickets, call 1-800-659-PARK.
Welcome back to the Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida, where it is halftime and a long first half. Buffalo Bills leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a score of 9-6. And Jerry Butler with me. Jerry, Marv Levy talks about sharpening execution in preseason games, but he can't be very happy about the execution in the first half when it came to penalties. The Bills had quite a few, 7 in the first quarter.
Yeah, 7 too many. You talk about the Buffalo Bills. What do they need to be able to go back to the Super Bowl? What do they need? They need not to get these unnecessary penalties, because Buffalo has all the talent, the poise, the coaching staff, the administration to get back to the Super Bowl. But the one thing that will hurt this football team, if you get these penalties and they run out of control, you're going to not win football games. You're going to lose them because of that.
Well, a lot of penalties, 7 in the first quarter alone, and that is not, I'm sure, what Marv Levy has in mind when he talks about sharpening execution. A battle of field goal kickers. Steve Christie with 3 in the first quarter, and the Bucs came up with 2 in the second quarter off the foot of Michael Houston. It is 9-6 at the half, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Summer clearance time is on at your Hyundai dealer, and up to $2,000 factory cash back makes it the best time of the year to buy the Hyundai of your choice. Right now, you can get into a sleek new Elantra for as low as $90.54. Plus, you can make no down payment and no payments for 90 days. And that's not all, because you'll get 2 years of scheduled service at no charge. So for big savings, no down payment and no payments for 90 days, get into your Hyundai dealer today. Hurry in for the best selection during summer clearance time. Ends Labor Day.
Be our guest, put our magic to the test. Bring a heart that's full of wonder and let Disney do the rest.
Florida. Call 407-WDisney.
If you're shopping for a TV, VCR, or any major appliance, then Martino's is the place you should go. You'll find the friendly, knowledgeable salespeople that you'd expect from a locally owned and operated dealer with over 50 years of experience, along with low prices on our large selection of quality products from trusted names like Amana. And remember, Martino's offers in-store factory authorized service, even if you didn't buy from us. Martino's, 926 Niagara Falls Boulevard near Sheridan, or 1488 Hurdle Avenue.
Halftime, Florida Citrus Bowl, a nice, warm, muggy Central Florida night with a pretty good crowd on hand watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. We talked about the problems execution-wise offensively. It is officially 10 penalties for the Bills in that first half. On the plus side, Jerry, some pretty good defensive work by the Bills, including some tough defense on fourth down.
Yeah, John, anytime you can see where the score has to come from the field goal kicker, that means defensively you're holding your own, but obviously offensively you also have to be able to move the ball up and down the football field, and Buffalo has done that tonight. They've moved the ball effectively up and down the field, but these penalties again are hurting them, and they will continue to hurt them.
I know it's only a preseason game, but it has to be halftime, Florida Citrus Bowl, a nice, warm, muggy Central Florida night with a pretty good crowd on hand watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. We talked about the problems execution-wise offensively. It is officially 10 penalties for the Bills in that first half. On the plus side, Jerry, some pretty good defensive work by the Bills, including some tough defense on fourth down.
Yeah, John, anytime you can see where the score has to come from the field goal kicker, that means defensively you're holding your own, but obviously offensively you also have to be able to move the ball up and down the football field, and Buffalo has done that tonight. They've moved the ball effectively up and down the field, but these penalties again are hurting them, and they will continue to hurt them.
I know it's only a preseason game, but it has to be in some respects, sweet revenge for Steve Christie, who left here of his own volition, still coming to Buffalo and against his former teammates and a coach who really pretty much badmouthed him on his way out of Tampa. For him to come in and hit 3 field goals, including a 51-yarder, has to make Steve Christie feel pretty good.
Yeah, you know, John, every athlete that gets traded or something happens to them to their former team, when they actually come to play that team, they want to have a good night. They want to be able to show and rub it in their face if that's the case. But I don't know. I think Steve is very happy being in Buffalo, and he's glad the opportunity came for him.
Here's one of the highlights of the first half, although it was a weird play. It's a swing pass to Reggie Cobb. Now, watch him get into the Buffalo secondary, and he is going to go 60 yards on this play. You saw the one flag at one end of the field. Well, this entire play is coming back on a penalty against Buffalo, but Reggie Cobb was flying down the field before the ball was tomahawked out of his hands right there. Fumble. Bills wind up finally recovering the ball, and because of that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers decide to run the play over on the penalty against Buffalo, but a wild play in the first half. Michael Houston hit a couple of field goals. This is a 37-yarder, the Bucs' first points of the game. Houston, their rookie kicker out of the University of Virginia, with 2 field goals in the second quarter. Almost like that Reggie Cobb play epitomized the first half of play, though, Jerry Butler, because, you know, it was a turnover, and we had a few of those in the first half. There was a penalty, and the Bills had more than a few of those in the first half. If you take a look at the first half stats, and fairly even, the Bills with 93 total yards and the Bucs with 112. The penalties, of course, the big deal. 10 penalties, 97 yards against Buffalo. Marv's not going to be happy about that.
No, that's what I told you earlier. And, you know, the other thing is at the time of possession, Tampa Bay's been able to control the football for 18 minutes out of the first half, and Buffalo only 11. So I'm really surprised we got as many points on the board as we have, and we're only 3 points off, of course.
Well, we spent a lot of time here talking about execution, but as you know, preseason is also about player evaluation, and that'll be the key here in the second half. Who looks good and who's going to be around after Tuesday at noon, right?
Yeah, the guys that are probably playing the first in the second quarter are usually the guys that's going to stay around this football team, and the guys you see coming up the second half are going to be the guys that are going to try to make this football team.
So both teams are getting set to start the second half of play. The Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play 30 more minutes. A long first quarter in this game. News Channel 7 is the place to be every Monday night this fall for ABC's Monday Night Football. The Bills figure prominently all season long on Monday Night Football, and it all starts October 11th when Buffalo plays Houston at Rich Stadium. Then on November 1st, the Washington Redskins visit the Bills at home. 2 weeks later, Buffalo travels to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh to tackle the Pittsburgh Steelers. ABC Monday Night Football on WOKR 13 and WKBW News Channel 7, your hometown team. Set to go for the second half of play, the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bills lead it 9-3. Houston the kicker, and this one sends Bob Gordon back into the end zone, and he'll bring it out 3 yards in. Gordon is only going to make it to the 8-yard line. Maybe not the right decision for Bob Gordon there, Jerry.
No, John, you got to make that decision a lot sooner. You can't hesitate when that football is coming down, and that's one of the responsibilities of his extra guy back there, Nate, is to let him know whether to come out of there or not. And Nate didn't let him know. He started upfield to take a block, and I guess that was Bob's signal to let's go with it. And he did, but it was just a little bit late getting out of there.
Curtis Buckley, the man who ran downfield and sort of forced that play. So the Bills get a bad drive start here from their own 9-yard line, 1st and 10, as the second half begins. Frank Reich with a play action fake. Now the throw, and he finds his man downfield. That is Chris Walsh. Good play fake by Frank Reich, and the Bills go without the huddle. Chris Walsh, who's had an outstanding preseason for Buffalo. That is his 12th catch of the preseason.
You can say Frankie had to get on the run, and I think Chris just stayed right across the middle, and he takes one hit. This guy is tough.
First down for the Bills. Here goes Nate Turner looking for room to run on the right side, and he is wrestled down. There may be a loose ball down there. There is a flag down too. Barney Bussey in on the tackle for Tampa Bay. He comes up with a fumble too. Tampa Bay ball. Nate Turner on the fumble.
Well, I hate to see something like that go against Nate, though, but he's had such a wonderful preseason.
That's Hardy Nickerson, the Tampa Bay linebacker, who forces that fumble with a good strong hit to the midsection of Nate Turner. Not the way the Bills envisioned starting the second half.
No, and Nate's had, like I said, he's just had a wonderful preseason, and I know he hates to see that happen to him. He came into the game with 16 runs and with 66 yards, so he was used quite a lot up until this point.
Hardy Nickerson, one of those free agents who came here from the Pittsburgh Steelers, had a good game against the Bills last year in November at Rich Stadium. He had 16 tackles in a game against the Bills last November at Rich. Anthony McDowell on the sidelines. Craig Erickson he's in the game, and Craig Erickson's still the quarterback, and he gives to Mazio Royster this time on first down. Now the Bills have a man down also. But he's back up. They were calling to the sidelines. Keith Willis on the tackle. That's Broderick Thomas, a man who was down on all fours on the Tampa Bay bench. Gain of 1 yard on the play. It is 2nd and 9. Bucks without a huddle at the Buffalo 25-yard line. The tight end in motion is Dave Moore. Erickson to throw. It's complete at the 16-yard line. Courtney Hawkins makes the catch in his 3rd year out of Michigan State. Caught 20 passes last year. Richard Harvey on the stop. Courtney Hawkins comes out of Michigan State.
He just gives the linebacker a little move inside, stops his direction, and turns back to the outside, and the quarterback picks him up going back towards the sideline. That's a tough little route there to try to cover for a linebacker.
Chains come out. They will measure for the first down, and Erickson takes the opportunity to go to the sideline and talk with his coach, Sam White.
Well, we will continue to wait and see who gets across the goal line first.
You're assuming that somebody will here, Jerry.
They continually to knock at the door.
That's a first down for Tampa, but not by much. First down at the Buffalo 15-yard line. Just underway in the second half. The Bills lead it 9-6.
I think throughout the whole preseason, Buffalo has played very well in the red area. I think they've really shown that they can hold people to low points, and this is going to be another chance for them to show that they can do that.
Bucks have their starting wide receivers back in the game, Hawkins and Lawrence Dossie. 1st and 10 from the Buffalo 15-yard line. Erickson rolling right, fires, incomplete, intended for the tight end Dave Moore. Shoulder-to-shoulder coverage by Kurt Schultz.
Kurt's in there for Henry Jones tonight. Now, Henry had a shoulder problem, and they decided to hold him out tonight, and Kurt is having a wonderful evening. He's doing quite well.
He did. He started week 2 last season at San Francisco against the Niners in that track meet out at Candlestick. 7th round pick a year ago out of Eastern Washington University. 2nd and 10 for the Bucs. The ball at the Bills' 15-yard line. Give to the fullback straight up the middle. That's Anthony McDowell. Gets a yard, maybe 2 to the 14.
Tampa's looking at the 3rd down now, and they will come back to pass.
Credit Harvey and Buccaneers on the tackle for Buffalo. Without a huddle, 3rd and 8 at the 14-yard line. Another long count for the Bucs. They put Royster in motion and Erickson to throw. That is Royster. That is a first down. He is shoved out of bounds at the 1-yard line, inside the 1. Matt Darby pushed him out of bounds.
That was a close one there. See the back, he sets up, he watches, and he dots out there. He's open. No one's out there at all. He sees that goal line. Matt Darby put a wonderful hit on him and pushes him out of bounds, and I think that puts him on the 1-yard line.
Yep. He was wide open, Jerry. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Maybe the first touchdown of the game coming up here. That's McDowell, and that's a touchdown, Tampa Bay. Anthony McDowell followed the lead block of Vince Workman, and the first touchdown of the game for the Bucs.
Well, you were right. We may possibly have been looking at that first touchdown.
The big fullback, Anthony McDowell, 2nd-year man out of Texas Tech.
McDowell, that's the key thing you want to do. You know, when you get up in that pile, you just want to keep your legs driving. Just push, push, push. And he does, and he's right across there for 6 points.
First
he's
touchdown.
Still pushing.
Yep. McDowell, who started last year on the developmental squad and wound up as a starter for Tampa Bay. Anthony McDowell. Now, before the extra point, a bit of a discussion. The Bucs send Eddie Murray out to kick the point after. The old veteran in his 14th year finished up the season as the Bucs kicker last year, but maybe in the process of losing the job to Michael Houston this year. 1-yard touchdown run for Anthony McDowell, and the fumble by Nate Turner sets up the Tampa Bay touchdown drive. Former Detroit Lion Eddie Murray out of Straczynski's hole. Kick is good, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the lead. 1-yard touchdown run by McDowell. The point after. It is 13-9. There's a timeout on the field, and we'll take timeout for this message.
The summer Toyota Fine Clearance is music to your ears. Every dealer is making super deals.
Squire, things are hot here with big savings, low financing, and immediate delivery.
Lease a Camry for just $259 a month, complete with air, power steering, AM/FM stereo, and more. Camry ranked best model in initial quality in its price class. The summer Toyota Fine Clearance is too good to miss. Oh, terrific!
Remember the rules of the road, Andy said, as we steer towards Music City, USA. Keep plenty of the old mill up top and a real hit-kicking compilation of the country's greatest in the deck. Music so good you'll forget the dials on the dash. The one thing about being out in the country, you never run out of folks willing to lend a hand.
You boys need a ride.
And just as long as you don't run dry of the old Milwaukee, it doesn't get any better than this.
For a chance at 10 of the country's greatest hits, some hit-kicking music, check out an old Milwaukee display.
Recycle, reuse, reduce. 3 buzzwords you're hearing a lot. But at the White Directory Talking Phone Book, they're words of commitment. The Talking Phone Book is proud to be leading the environmental effort by recycling our old phone books into other useful products. As a local company whose employees live and work in Western New York, we care. Recycle your old talking phone books at all Erie County Tops Friendly Markets locations. Let's start reusing our products and reducing our waste. Recycling program ends September 19th.
Okay, here's your quarter. We had a bet that someone would not get in the end zone. I said they wouldn't. You were right. They did get into the end zone finally.
The time had come.
It was about time. The turnover forced by the Bucs, and they get into the end zone, and things are happening now that can't be to Marv Levy's liking, Jerry.
Hey, when you get big plays like that, that fires up a team, and offensively, they get out there, they know they got a few yards to punch that ball in, and they do.
Here's the kickoff again for the Bills. That is Bob Gordon. He is flipped and down at the 16-yard line. Great tackle by Tampa Bay, and Curtis Buckley again. Boy, what a special teamer he's turned out to be for Tampa Bay in this game. Curtis Buckley flips Bob Gordon, and another drive start inside the 20 for Buffalo.
Nice spin move to get away from the block.
Curtis Buckley, a rookie free agent.
At him.
He's a rookie from East Texas State, a free agent. Some nice dance steps, too. 11.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Bills trailing now for the first time in this game. It is 13-9. Right, the quarterback, throwing on first down. Swing pass, Nate Turner. All down at the 15-yard line. Broderick Thomas makes the tackle.
But Tampa seems to have the edge right now, and that's what you look for. You look for a big play to get your team fired up and get you going, get those engines revved up there and get some steam going. And I think that big play that they came up with against the fumble on Nate there caused a lot of reaction.
Tampa also has some first-line defensive players in there, like Broderick Thomas. That guy, Eric Curry, their first-round draft choice, who may have just jumped early. Santana Dotson is in there. Flags down.
False start, number 35.
And it's false start against Buffalo.
5 yards, second down.
Well, there we go again. What did we say, 10?
Now it's 11, yeah.
Now it's 11.
False start against Sean Love, the Bills' left guard, number 79.
Concentration, that's the key to it. Just got to get out there and concentrate on your responsibility. And first of all, just don't do anything silly like jumping off sides. Got to remember that snap count.
11 penalties, 103 yards against the Bills.
See, it works at all levels. It doesn't make a difference whether you're midgets, mites, or high school, or college, or the pros. It all works the same.
Second down, 16 yards to go for the first down. Right to throw. Got his man, far sideline. Wrestled out of bounds, Chris Walsh. Darren Anderson, 2-year veteran out of Toledo, makes the tackle for Tampa Bay. Chris Walsh with another catch.
Yep, he just keeps chomping away.
Bills go without the huddle. Walsh to the left side. Barry Rose is in there on the right side.
He's not an easy receiver to put down either. This guy stays on his feet a long time after he catches the football.
Brand Lamb is the slot receiver, right side. Right, looks for his tight end. It is intercepted. No, incomplete. Incomplete. John Lynch thought he had a pick, but they rule it a trap.
That was a big break for the Bills. At least they didn't give the ball away right down there on the 30-yard line.
That was very close to an interception. John Lynch, rookie safety, third-round pick out of Stanford. Wow, that was close. John Lynch has been maybe the most impressive rookie in camp for Tampa Bay. Bills get their punt unit out on the field now, and it is Chris Moore again, the punt. We have yet to see Kurt Bladorn with any of the Bills punts today. Tyree Davis, the return man. Moore gets off a good one. Davis with a dribble. And Tyree Davis is brought down at the 39-yard line by Matt Darby. 46-yard punt for Chris Moore. And a 13-yard return for Tyree Davis. It is 13-9. The Bucs lead the Bills. There's timeout on the field, and we'll take timeout for this message.
There's a party going on, and everyone's invited, except you. That's how life seems when you're out of work. Wondering what they've got that you don't? It's not luck. It's training for today's jobs. It's a degree. It's a future. Call Bryant & Stratton to learn the latest skills and start a real career. Get the message? Get a future at Bryant & Stratton.
Buick, the car company that wrote the book on quality, closes the books on all remaining 93s. Park Avenue, priced thousands less than any comparably equipped luxury car. Now with giant cash incentives and low leases to drive Buick's best. Look for special incentives on Roadmaster, Century, Skylark, Regal, and LeSabre, all at sales event prices. Direct-to-you cashbacks and dealer discounts. Get into your Western New York Buick dealers and save right now.
This is Bradford Hall. Notice the 19th century Italian marble. This is the Bradford Armory, the finest collection of its kind in North America. This is the Bradford Library, 50,000 volumes, all extremely rare. And this is the Bradford living room. Oh, and these are the Bradfords.
How you doing? Grab a chair. We got 1 million of them.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Bills backers, Southwest Florida Fan Club. Those are the folks from Fort Myers, Florida, which has to be 2.5-hour drive away, all the way here to Orlando, Florida, to see their favorite team tonight. Their favorites trail the Bucs 13-9, 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tampa Bay football at their own 39-yard line. Still Craig Erickson, a quarterback. Good pass. Got his man downfield. Ty J. Armstrong all the way down to the Buffalo 26-yard line.
John, it looked as though he stepped out of bounds a little earlier. Well, we got to give those Buffalo fans something to cheer about.
Lodish pressuring Erickson. Ty J. Armstrong, the big tight end, second-year man from Mississippi. Ty J is his name, T-Y-J-I. His first name.
He comes all the way across the field, and that's hard to defend. The quarterback sees him deep. He's wide open. He knows it. He turns the field and tries to get as much yardage as he can.
38-yard pass completion to Armstrong. 1st and 10 from the 27. Up the middle goes Vince Workman. Glenn L. Sanders, Mike Lodish on the tackle for Buffalo.
Tampa again continues to be very effective with the motion and mixing up the run and the pass, and they seem to be catching Buffalo off guard a little bit right now.
Gain of 4 yards, 2nd and 6 at the Bills' 23. 3 field goals, the only offense the Bills have been able to muster tonight. Dawsey is in motion. The give is to Hadnot, Butch Hadnot, to the 21-yard line. Bills push him back. They will give him forward progress for a gain of about 2 yards. Those Bills fans have not had a lot to cheer about here since the first quarter. Kevin O'Brien, Anthony Fielding's on the stop for Buffalo.
We got to get them on their feet and get some blood in their legs. They're going to catch cramps up there in a little while.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Bucs with the ball at the Bills' 20-yard line. 8:20 to play in the third quarter. Erickson looking to pass. Broken up by Kirby Jackson and incomplete. Almost intercepted first by Jackson, then by Matt Darby. A pass intended for Lawrence Dawsey.
That was a close one there. I thought Dawsey was going to pull that one down. See, he sees it, and he sets it down right in front of the defensive back, Kirby Jackson there. I don't think that's a good move for the wide receiver to set that down right there in front of the cornerback, unless he figured that it wasn't going to come to him, but it came anyway.
Here comes the field goal attempt now. 38-yard field goal attempt by Eddie Murray. Looks long enough. Good. 3 more points for the Bucs. Eddie Murray with the 38-yard field goal. And now it is Tampa Bay 16. The Bills 9. Timeout on the field, and we'll be right back.
For all those who believe a haircut is more than just a haircut, Fantastic Sam's gives you exactly that. More than a haircut. The Cut Plus at Sam's. A shampoo, a cut, and some style. Everything you want, and then some. It's not just a haircut. It's you. You don't need an appointment. We're waiting for you now.
What is it that makes Molson Special Dry special? Could it be that it comes from a 200-year brewing tradition? That it's brewed from only the finest ingredients? Or that it consistently delivers a clean, crisp, refreshing taste? No. It's that this special brew comes from Molson. Molson Special Dry. The evolution of beer.
The Summer Toyotathon clearance is rolling and the dealing is hot.
Squire, the Summer Toyotathon's huge inventory and record sales goal means that now is the best time to save.
Right now, you can lease a Corolla for just $179 a month, complete with air, power steering, airbag, and more. Or check the low price on Tercel. You can get a great deal today. Drop whatever you're doing. You've got to get to the Summer Toyotathon now.
Bucks to kick off again, leading 16-9, 8:07 to play in the third quarter. If you've just joined us, Jim Kelly started the game. He went 5 of 9 for 34 yards. Bills got 3 Steve Christie field goals in the first quarter and have not scored since. Kickoff into the end zone. This time Gordon does not come out with it. Waved down by Nate Turner.
Yeah, Nate gets over there and he tells him right there, hey, let's don't go with this one. I remember what happened the last play here. Let's just shut this one down. A little bit too far back in the end zone there.
Well, there's a gentleman who feels pretty good about the way things have gone tonight. Curtis Buckley with a Ozzie Smith backflip, or front flip rather. There is a flag down on the field and that kickoff.
There's no foul.
You know, I always wanted to try one of those, huh?
Go ahead. Be my guest. We've got enough room here.
The player is disqualified.
Penalty against Buffalo's Greg Patera. A personal foul against the Bills' reserve fullback Greg Patera. So chalk up another penalty charge to the Bills. Marv Levy doesn't look too happy about it.
No, and I don't think he ever will.
March the penalty off against Buffalo. They'll start now from their 10-yard line. Frank Reich, another series for him at quarterback. Reich is 5 of 8 for 38 yards in this game.
To the goal line, the player is disqualified.
Greg Patera ejected from the game also on that personal foul on the kickoff. So the Bills from their own 10-yard line with 8 minutes to go, third quarter, and Reich. Handoff up the middle. Gain of a couple of yards. Brett Hall on the stop for Tampa Bay. Nate Turner, the ball carrier for Buffalo.
Frank's setting up the hurry-up offense there. That's what the quarterback's got to do. He's got to talk to these guys and say, hey, come on, guys, let's get our act together. Let's concentrate and stop making silly mistakes. Get the job done.
Right to throw on second down. Complete to Chris Walsh, far side. Nope, Barry Rose, far sideline. Barry Rose spent last year on the developmental squad in his first year in the NFL from Wisconsin Stevens Point. Darren Anderson pushed him out. That's a first down play for Buffalo on the pass to Barry Rose.
What the quarterback wants to do is he wants to look the defense off backside and then come back with the timing route right out to the outside and catch the ball and get out of bounds. It's a controlled play.
First down from the 25-yard line. That one thrown behind Brad Lamb, and he takes a lick. Elijah Alexander got a free shot at Brad Lamb.
Well, going inside, very shallow, that's a nightmare for some receivers. You got to be very careful when you're going inside. You got to look those linebackers up first and then chart your course. Of course, that one's a little bit behind him, and he had to take the lick.
Second and 10 from the 25. Right in the shotgun now. Nate Turner, inside handoff. He's got room here. Gets across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Tripped up by Darren Anderson.
Well, Nate,
that play started off a little shaky there on the exchange.
I'm not sure exactly where he was going, but he finally got outside, and he saw that first down marker. He just lowered his head, and he knew he was going to get that first down. It looks as though they're going to bring the chains out.
Big Nate Turner, 255-pound fullback.
That was close. Looks like a first down.
That is a first down, yep. Turner first in rushing in the preseason for Buffalo. He is second in receiving. 2 touchdowns this summer for the Bills.
All right, they're moving the chains now.
Nate spent all of last year on injured reserve with a back problem. Picks up the first down there. 1st and 10 Bills at their own 34-yard line. Trailing this game by 7 points. Inside 7 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. See Frank Reich's numbers. That's Turner. Good run after the catch by Nate Turner. Tripped up, and they'll mark it at the Bills' 46-yard line. Gain of 11 yards. Demetrius DeVos on the tackle for Tampa Bay.
Nate hardly saw any action, if any at all, during the first half, and now he's in there exclusively. And I told you before, he's got great hands and speed, and you can see him as he caught that ball and picked up that yard.
1st and 10 Bills at their 46-yard line. Right under center now. 3 wideouts. Turner dives ahead, gain of 2 yards. John Fina in there at tackle in this series for Buffalo. Tackled by Alexander.
Even though the Bills are in a hurry-up offense, Frank Wright, the quarterback, still got options to change the play. He's talking to the guys left and right. He's giving them the play right there, and they're passing it out to each other.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Wright throwing on 2nd. Lots of time. That's Chris Walsh. That's a first down at the Tampa Bay 40-yard line. 12-yard pass completion to Chris Walsh. Anderson made the tackle. Walsh is having another good game, Jerry.
He continues to pick up the yardage and the receptions.
Timeout called by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to try to slow down this Buffalo drive. It started on their 10-yard line, and they moved 50 yards to Tampa Bay's 40. It is 16-9. The Bucs lead the Bills and will return after these messages.
The hottest deals, the coolest wheels, the bestest sale. It's the Ford hottest, coolest, bestest summer sale. Now get $1,000 cash back, $1,000, or take $500 cash back and 6.9 APR financing on a new '93 Ford Taurus, America's bestest selling car. So hurry, the hottest deals on the coolest wheels are at the bestest summer sale. Now at your participating Ford dealer. It's time to enjoy driving again.
What have you got, Captain?
We've never tracked anything like this before, sir.
Status.
Still checking, sir.
Isolating to Buffalo, Rochester Center.
We have satellite. Get it on the main screen now.
Now appearing in the skies over Darien Lake, it's an entirely new laser light fantasy. Don't miss it.
My kids are gonna love this.
I love this place!
It's not just a cheeseburger. It's the Big Burger King Double Cheeseburger. And right now you can get it with fries and a drink at the new low combo price of just $2.99. 4 big sandwich combos, each only $2.99.
I love this place!
Last year's first-round draft pick John Fina out of Arizona back in there now with the second-unit offensive line. And Jerry, Marv said this guy is going to play a lot this summer. He has.
Yeah, Marv wants to get him ready for opening day, and the only way you can get a guy ready, you got to get him the time in there. You know, with Will Wolford leaving, he's been thrown into a very aggressive role, and he's just got to stay with it. And tonight, he's going to get some work.
Bills have a nice drive going here now. It is 1st and 10 at Tampa's 40-yard line. Right to the quarterback. Rose in and out of his hands. Incomplete. Mayhew broke it up. Bucs have a lot of their first-unit defenders in there.
Yeah, Buffalo continues to work on the pass reception that requires a lot of timing.
See that big left hand that cast on the left hand of Martin Mayhew. He broke his hand against the Falcons last week. They cast it up, and now it's a weapon. Those guys love to play with a big plaster thing on their hand, don't they?
The gun.
Yeah. Look at that thing. 2nd and 10 for the Bills. Ball at Tampa's 40-yard line. Draw play, Eddie Fuller gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line. First carry for Eddie Fuller tonight in his 4th year out of LSU. Chidi Ahanatu made the tackle for Tampa Bay. Chidi Ahanatu of
You want to see
Nigerian
him get that? He's getting that penetration. He spins back out. He sees the ball going in a different direction. He pushes, and spins back out inside to get in on that play.
Big 3rd down play here for Buffalo. 3rd and 9 at Tampa's 39-yard line. Bills down by 7. 4:40 to go, 3rd quarter. Incomplete. Intended for Carwell Gardner, but Hardy Nickerson was there to break it up. Nickerson has played a great game for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he's been all over the place tonight. I thought I was going to see the flags thrown on that one.
Nickerson, an important free agent acquisition for the Bucs this year. 3-year contract, $5 million plus. And he's playing well tonight.
You can do a little shopping with that, couldn't you?
The Bills to punt. The drive stalls. It is Chris Moore in. Tyree Davis and Courtney Hawkins double safeties on this punt. Coffin corner attempt by Chris Moore. It's very high. Fielded at the 23 on the fair catch for Tampa. Tyree Davis, the man who downs it there. So the Bills drive stalls after going 50 yards. They still trail it 16-9 with a pause in the action. We'll take time out for this message.
Cadillac Closeout 93 is underway, and there's never been a better time to buy a new Cadillac. Get a closeout deal on a new 93 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, and then get an additional $3,000 cash bonus from Cadillac. Choose a 93 Cadillac Fleetwood, the roomiest sedan on the American road, and get $2,000 cash bonus from Cadillac. The ultra-prestigious 93 Cadillac Seville and Eldorado have incredible new leasing offers. Inventories are limited. When they're gone, they're gone. At your Cadillac dealers of Western New York.
When I want to do a job right, I go right to Grossman's for the best stuff. Because bad materials don't just waste your money, they waste your time. Take wood. The best is at Grossman's. Paint, stains. Unless you want to be up here every year, you got to have the top brands. Power tools, only the big names for me. DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee. Because when your power tool is shot, your whole day is shot. When you want to get it done, get to Grossman's. When you want to get it done, get it done. Get to Grossman's.
What's new with the Albright Knox? An exhibition of sports photographs. This Sporting Life through August 29th.
Ron Corbo's 11th anniversary sales event starts Monday. Save thousands on all remaining 93 Oldsmobiles and Subarus. Ron Corbo Oldsmobile Subaru, West Seneca Thruway, exit 55 East. Eyewitness News at 5, your hometown team.
These are anxious days and nights for members of the Bills defensive line, where there are a lot of numbers, including this guy, Jerry, James Patton, the 2nd-round draft pick a year ago.
Yeah, he's come to his own here. I think he's had an outstanding preseason. Very strong guy, and he's got a lot of drive in his leg. We get a chance here. We get a shot on him and see what he pushes on this play.
He's on the nose in the Buffalo defense. 1st and 10 Tampa at the 24-yard line. They lead it 16-9. 4.5 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. Vince Workman hauled down after a gain of 8 yards and a flag down on the play.
Yeah, and the flag man is raining again.
Yep. Sebastian Savage on the stop for Buffalo. Grabbed Vince Workman up high and brought him down. Holding against Tampa is the indication.
I'm sure Coach Levy is over there saying, phew, I'm glad to hear that.
10 yards, 1st down.
Maybe Mike Sullivan, the 2nd-year man of Miami of Florida, is in there at guard now for the Bucs. So the Bucs retreat.
John, this preseason, I guess I'm trying to assess the officiating myself as we've gone along here, and I don't know if I'm overly impressed with my think against Kansas City last week. I felt that they did a very good job, but the opening game against Detroit, I just felt that that was a lousy job, and some of those penalties were not even remotely close to being penalties. So I think they're going to have to assess their situation as well.
Do you think officials need preseason to work the kinks out too, Jerry?
Obviously so, but I wish they would go to someone else's game, though. Huh?
1st and 20 now for the Bucs from their own 14-yard line. Erickson's going to throw. Incomplete at the 20. They rule it incomplete, a pass to Curtis Mayfield. A couple of close calls for Mayfield. Glenn L. Sanders in coverage and right there for Buffalo.
Well, we're beginning to see a lot of drop balls out here in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And I don't know whether it's the heat that's getting everyone or whether it's just the hurry-up offense that both Tampa and Buffalo are running.
Now, why does there have to be an excuse for a drop ball?
There's got to be.
Second down, 20 yards to go. Erickson going deep for Mayfield. Broken up nicely by the Bills. Great play by Mickey Washington.
Mickey's back in there again. Remember him last week against KC. Had a great day. And he came out today determined that he was going to make something happen.
Washington may be winning a spot on this roster. That is good coverage right there by Mickey Washington. Spent time with Phoenix, the Patriots, the Redskins. 4 starts with New England a couple of years ago. Third-year man in the NFL from Texas A&M, Mickey Washington.
And that's what you want to look for in the defensive back or any NFL play. You want to see a guy that's willing to sell out and give it all. And that play was definitely something to remember for selling out for an athlete.
3rd and long for the Bucs. You see their 3rd down conversion rate. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Erickson in trouble. Wrapped up. Brought down. Where are they going to put him down? Bills want a safety. Bob McElwee runs over, and they'll mark the ball at the 2-yard line. John Perella, Jim Gray on the sack for Buffalo.
The Bills' second-round draft choice, John Perella. He's all over the place.
You know, Perella has played well and seems to be a big play type of player on that defensive line so far for the Bills. And the Bills talk about using their defensive line in waves this year, of substituting liberally, much like the Dallas Cowboys did last year. And they're going to need numbers on that defensive line. Straczynski in to punt for Tampa. Bob Gordon is the punt return man for the
Bills. This should be a great opportunity for Bob to catch the ball. Well, he fair catches this one.
Good field position for the Bills, though. Fair catch called at the Tampa 47-yard line.
Well, anytime you get in position around the 50-yard line, you know, staring that goal line in the face, you're in very good position.
New quarterback in the game for Buffalo now. We'll get our first look tonight at Gail Gilbert, 8th-year man out of California. You see the sack right there. Perella and Jim Gray very close to being a safety, depending on where they blew the whistle. Gail Gilbert has completed 74% of his passes in preseason. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he gets some field position to work with here. 1st and 10, the Bills at Tampa's 47-yard line. Gilbert out of the shotgun. Looking deep. There's a flag down and an interference call.
I would think so.
Yep. Chris Walsh got tangled up with the defensive back over there, Darren Anderson. Frank Reich's night. 8 completions and 14 attempts, 74 yards. It's Barry Rose, not Chris Walsh.
Well, sometimes for a defensive back, you figure you're getting beat so bad, it's better to get the holding call than to give them 6 points.
So the penalty assessed to Darren Anderson. 1st down, Buffalo. Mark it at the Tampa Bay 29-yard line. Ed Fuller wrapped up after a gain of a yard. Corey Mayfield on the tackle for Tampa Bay. Bills trail at 16-9, 3:15 to play in this 3rd quarter. Good preseason so far for Gail Gilbert, but he always seems to play well in August. He's made just 1 start in a regular season game, or 1 appearance rather, in a regular season game for Buffalo. That was the 2nd half of a game against the Redskins, a meaningless game at the end of the season a few years ago. 2nd and 8 for the Bills at the 29-yard line.
As you saw earlier, the stats for Gilbert there, he had 52 attempts with 33 completes for 324 yards.
Gilbert
Quite
to
a
throw.
preseason.
Finds his man, and his man finds a Tampa Bay defender, too. Pass complete to Ed Fuller. Anderson on the stop.
That's what you want to have, John. You want to be able to get out, get into your position, do your responsibility. If the ball comes your way, hold on to the football. You know you got to take that lick, and definitely Eddie Fuller took a big lick on that one. But you know what? He held on to the football, and that's what you got to do, not cough the football up down here.
So now it's 3rd and 6 at the 25-yard line. Gilbert, oh boy, is he hit. Is he hit? Gail Gilbert goes down hard and has taken his time to come back up. Santana Dotson on the tackle. The Bucs with several first-team defenders in there, and Santana Dotson got a clean shot at Gail Gilbert. Dotson working against Thomas Linsky on the Bills' offensive line.
That was a nasty hit there.
Santana Dotson gets his way with Mislinski and then takes a clean shot at Gail Gilbert. Here is Steve Christie in the game for Buffalo to attempt a 53-yard field goal. He made a 51-yarder in the first quarter. And the Bills call a timeout.
Maybe they're going to rethink this one.
Well, they had a problem getting people on the field. They only had 10 men on the field, as a matter of fact. As Corbin Lucina is now, he replaced Glenn Parker, though. Maybe they had 11, but they finally had to call a timeout. Gail Gilbert looks okay on the sideline after that hit right to the ribs. Now, many of those quarterbacks now, Jerry, and I know Jim Kelly does, they wear that flak jacket for hits just like that one that Dotson applied on Gilbert.
Well, if I saw a hit like that coming, I think I'd like to wear a lot more. But, you know, Gail, he stayed in the pocket as long as he could. He was looking downfield, and he looked downfield, and he was waiting for the receiver to get open. But Santana just came through there and just nailed him right in the chest and drove him down. Now, that's a scary-looking hit.
Yep. Dotson had 10 sacks last year and started out the season last year with 4 sacks in the first 2 games. He just applied a wake-up call to Gail Gilbert. I don't know why we're laughing. That was a pretty bad hit.
Yeah, every once in a while you're going to get those, right? You got to get initiated somewhere along the line.
Well, our next Bills game here on News Channel 7 in Buffalo is scheduled for 8 o'clock Sunday night, October 3rd, when the Giants play the Bills at Ridge Stadium. Here we go. 53-yard field goal attempt for Steve Christie. Gets his foot into it. I don't know.
It's good.
Christie makes it. He hits a 51-yarder in the first quarter and a 53-yard field goal here.
Yes, they will be filling up the ice bags. Soaking the leg before he gets on the plane tonight.
Steve Christie puts 3 more points up on the board, and with a little bit more than a minute and a half to go in the third quarter, the Bills closed to within 4 points. Christie had a 49-yarder a week ago at Kansas City. 51-yarder in the first quarter, and he's been all the offense for the Bills in this game. 4 field goals.
Well, he's capable of kicking them that far back. I know in practice I've heard he's done over 60 yards in practice, so we know he's definitely got the leg to do that.
We have yet to see the kicking backups. Kurt Bladorn, the backup punter, and Steve Kratz, the backup kicker, and we're not quite sure what Marv Levy's plans are for those people tonight or even next week. Sam Weiss talking things over with his quarterback Craig Erickson. 16-12, the Bucs lead the Bills. Steve Christie gets my vote for the Bills MVP in the first 3 quarters anyway.
Well, I think I'm voting the same way with you. I think Tampa Bay is going to come out here and try to control the football with the run. And Buffalo, of course, is going to try to hold them and get that football back to try to get them to punt as soon as possible so we can get another run at that goal line.
Christie on the kickoff. Derek Branch fields it at the 5. Branch is rocked and down finally at the 30-yard line. 25-yard return. Monty Brown on the tackle for Buffalo. There's the Bills drive. 4 plays, 11 yards, 1:54, and the 53-yard field goal for Steve Christie. Hit a 54-yarder for the Bills last year, and that ties his career long in a regular season game.
And that is long.
Yep. First and 10 for the Bucs at their own 28-yard line. They lead now 16-12. Erickson rolling, throwing, wide open is his man, Armstrong.
Hey, didn't we see that play earlier?
Yep. Armstrong wide open, down at the 41-yard line of the Bills. 31-yard pass completion. Sebastian Savage makes the tackle for Buffalo. Bills 5th-round draft choice out of North Carolina State.
I guess that's a simple strategy there. Nice play fake.
Ty J. Armstrong got behind the linebackers.
Just sitting there wide open. I think I could have thrown that one in there.
First and 10 Bucs at the Bills 41-yard line. Workman cuts back across the 40 to the 37-yard line. Kevin O'Brien on the tackle for Buffalo, the rookie free agent out of Bowling Green. We're inside the last minute here in the third quarter. Bucs will probably get one more play off here. The gain of 4 yards on that pass play. It is 2nd and 6 for Tampa at the Bills' 37. Erickson gets the signal straight with his wide receivers. Swing pass off Workman's hands, out of bounds, incomplete. Stops the clock with 16 seconds to go.
That's a hard little pass to stop defensively, and it works good for the offensive team, because if that linebacker isn't coming and he decides to make his drops, and that the halfback just gets his read, and he just goes right out there on that little flare, and the quarterback just times it up and gets it right over his shoulder. This time he's just going to hold on to it.
16 seconds to go. It is 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the first down. Third quarter winds down, and Erickson to throw again. Complete and still going. Hit by Mickey Washington, but Lamar Thomas kept running with the football and picked up more yardage all the way down to the Bills' 21. Lamar Thomas, their draft pick, 3rd round out of Miami of Florida. The final play of the third quarter, Mickey Washington did recover to make the tackle. 3 quarters complete. Tampa Bay leading the Bills 16-12. Fourth quarter action will begin after this message.
I want to hear heavy
The
metal.
Cybergenics program of training, diet, and supplementation.
Push.
The most sophisticated bodybuilding system ever developed.
Pump it.
With guaranteed results like this in just 60 days. Everything you need to build incredible muscle fast.
So
Cybergenics. Everything you need to rock with heavy metal.
let's rock.
Available at GNC, NFC, Feel Right, and other fine health food stores in the U.S. and Canada.
It's summer clearance time at your Hyundai dealer. And with factory cash back up to $2,000, it's the best time of the year to buy the Hyundai of your choice. Get into a thrifty new Excel right now for as little as $6,804. Plus, you can make no down payment and no payments for 90 days. And on top of all that, you get 2 years of scheduled service at no charge. So for big savings, no down payment and no payments for 90 days. Get into your Hyundai dealer today. Hurry in now for the best selection during summer clearance time. Ends Labor Day.
Been dreaming of new furnishings for your house? Stop dreaming. Come to Spectrum Rent's Open House. Now get special savings of $20 off your first month's rent, plus free service and free same-day delivery on quality products for every room in your home, like the Zenith 27-inch TV and swivel base, this England Corsair sofa and chair, or this Whirlpool 18-cubic-foot refrigerator.
Put a little Spectrum in your home.
Ready for the fourth quarter. The Bills trailing Tampa Bay 16-12. 15 minutes to go, Jerry. Maybe not the most important 15 minutes in Bills history, but for some of these players, maybe the most important 15 minutes of their career coming up.
Yeah, they know they got one more quarter here to try to make something happen. Then by this coming Tuesday, a lot of things are going to happen in their life. So they want to get a last look here so they can maybe just make that cut.
Tuesday at noon is the cut down, and the Bills must reduce 19 players. They must cut to 60 by Tuesday at noon. 37,125 the attendance here at the Florida Citrus Bowl tonight. Fourth quarter underway. Erickson, the Tampa quarterback, goes to the end zone. Flag down. Let's see, did they signal touchdown? No. But the flag is down there in the end zone. Horace Copeland, the rookie receiver. The Bills argue the point, but it's not going to matter.
I'm not sure where he held on to the football or not.
Pass interference in the end zone on the Bills' Mickey Washington. Horace Copeland draws the flag in the end zone, and now the Bucs will have it first and goal.
See Copeland going in motion, coming back inside, makes the inside move, then he goes to the corner. He just goes for that flag at the back of the end zone. And of course, Mickey goes in there. Well, I don't know.
Boy,
that was a close one.
You really want to discourage defensive backs from making that play? I thought that was a pretty good play defensively for Mickey Washington.
There's the play action. That's just to hold the linebackers in there. Give him time to make his route. That was a close one, John.
Yeah.
That was real close.
Copeland, a great athlete in his playing days at Miami of Florida. 43.5-inch vertical leap, and that is a record at the Indianapolis Combine for a vertical jump. He used it there. 1st and goal for the Bucs at the 1-yard line. They lead it 16-12. They may add to it. They try to go up the middle. They do. Anthony McDowell. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. His second 1-yard touchdown run of the game.
He's having an outstanding evening. He smells that goal line. He punches up in there. That's what he decides to do. He knows he wants to get across that goal line. He takes a lick, but he just keeps on going. He's almost like the Timex man, huh?
Eddie Murray in to try to convert the extra point for the Bucs, whose lead is 10 and maybe 11 after this. Brzezinski, the holder, kick is good. 10 seconds into the 4th quarter, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers add to their lead. They're up now 23-12. Timeout on the field, and we'll pause for this message.
While some travel the path of luxury, others search for the road of fiscal responsibility. However, for a limited time, there is an alternate route, one that offers the best of both. The Mitsubishi Diamante ES lease. Just $299 a month with only $500 down. So lease a Diamante from Mitsubishi.
Take the direct route and lease a Diamante at Mullane, South Towns, or Dan Georger Mitsubishi.
We got a little game we'd like you to play with us.
Hunting season has begun. Start running.
Boudreaux is the target we're after.
Look at it this way. You're going to get to meet Elvis.
From internationally acclaimed action director John Woo.
Give it a rest, pal.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Hunting season is over.
Is The Hard Target. Rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
They want your vote, but first they have to earn it. Watch Buffalo's candidates for mayor Anthony Masiello, Eugene Fahey, and Richard Grimm tackle the issues in a special edition of Eyewitness News at 5 and 5:30 this Monday on News Channel 7, your hometown team.
I'm Keith Radford.
And I'm Kathleen Layton. Thanks to you, this summer more people get their news on Eyewitness News at 5, 5:30, and 6 than from any other source.
Thanks for keeping us #1, because nobody covers your hometown like News Channel 7, your hometown team.
Well, it figures that a penalty would play a prominent role in a Tampa scoring drive here, and the long pass interference penalty charge to the Bills. Mickey Washington set up that drive, and the 1-yard touchdown run. The Bills trail it by 11 points now with 14:50 to play. Houston, the kickoff for Tampa. That's Bob Gordon, 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he'll down. Costly penalty, though, again, Jerry, and there have been an awful lot of those for the Bills tonight.
Well, I still think that was questionable. Yeah. I think Mickey did an outstanding job of covering the receiver. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot you could do with it, and I think he just got his hands up in there, and the referees didn't like the way it looked.
Now, the Bills have not crossed the goal line. They have not been in the end zone yet tonight. And when you were playing, Jerry, in a preseason game, did that matter much at all if you were shut out, say, or things didn't go well?
Yeah, because I wasn't on any of the special teams. So my job was to try to get that ball across the goal line. You don't like to give up and have to come back to the sidelines.
Bills start from their 20 now, and Gil Gilbert is the quarterback. And no room to run right there. Corey Mayfield makes the tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You don't want the momentum to start to shift away while you're out there offensively. You want to try to maintain that and not have to go out for 3 plays and then have to punt the ball on the 4th down.
Eddie Fuller loses a yard on that carry. 2nd and 11. Bills at their 19 now. Fuller. Good run after the catch. Down at the 27-yard line. Knocked down by Darren Anderson.
Buffalo also elected to use that little swing pass there that Tampa was using so effectively. Just dump it right out there, and no one's there to cover him.
Tampa playing Santana Dotson now at defensive tackle. He is, of course, a first-string player. They're playing their #1 pick, Eric Curry, at defensive end. So they've got some of their first unit in there. Chidi Ahanatu is in there at defensive end also. Blitz coming. They got him. Eddie Fuller wrapped up and brought down by the blitzing defensive back Marty Carter. another first unit defensive player for the Bucs. Well, they're having fun out there.
Yeah, someone asked.
Yep.
Well, we got to keep the fans going some way, right?
Well, maybe the Bucs need the emotional lift that a preseason win might bring them. They are playing well. Bill's ready to punt, and here is Kurt Bladorn, the rookie from Cal State Fullerton, to punt for Buffalo. High spiral, good long punt. Fielded at the 17-yard line. Tyree Davis all the way out to the 27-yard line.
Well, if I was on defense for Buffalo, I would look for that tight end crossing over in my area there.
It's a good punt, 55 yards for Bladorn that time. Bills trail it by 11 with a timeout on the field, and we'll be right back.
It's cleanup countdown time in the complete line of new Pontiacs, like the incredible Grand Prix, with all these options and 3.9% GMAC financing for just $239 a month for 36 months. Plus, you get 3 years of worry-free driving with a free bumper-to-bumper warranty, free 24-hour roadside assistance, even free courtesy transportation, all for just $239 a month. Come test drive any new Pontiac during our cleanup countdown and get this complete car cleanup kit free. It's time to clean up at your Western New York Pontiac dealer now.
Accidents happen. Injuries occur. It's inevitable.
I'm Dr. Mark Cox of United Chiropractic Services. We have put relief just a phone call away. 1-800-884-BACK will put you in touch with a qualified chiropractic doctor near you. So at the first sign of pain or discomfort, call United Chiropractic.
Your sign of relief, United Chiropractic.
Cars go, this model year is coming to an end. That's why the 93 Nissan Altima's going so fast. Stop by your Nissan dealer today. We'll give you something to celebrate.
Bills Keith Goganius in there, an inside linebacker, second-year man out of Penn State. He's had a pretty good training camp, but right now it may be that Marcus Patton and Mark Maddox have won the inside linebacking jobs, at least started. Mark Vlasic in a quarterback for the Bucs. The give to Royster. Dances his way for a yard or two. What do you think, Jerry? Is that an accurate assessment of the inside linebacking situation?
I think you're hitting it right on the head, though. But he's definitely going to add some depth to the defense, and that's what you got to have along the stretch. And I think that's what's been very good about the Buffalo Bills defense and offensive coordinator. They pride themselves on having the depth that they need in the case that the first guys do go down, and you need guys like Venus around.
2-yard pickup for Royster, 2nd and 8 for the Bucs. Mark Vlasic, the new quarterback, a free agent who came over from the Kansas City Chiefs. Royster again, looking for a block and doesn't really get it. Gets to the 33-yard line. That's a 1-yard pickup. David White on the tackle, the rookie free agent linebacker from Nebraska. Mark Vlasic didn't feel he was playing enough at San Diego 2 years ago, so he went to Kansas City. Now, wouldn't you know it, David Craig is the only quarterback in the NFL who took every snap for his team last year in the Kansas City Chiefs, and Vlasic didn't play there also. Now he's here in Tampa. 3rd down, 5 yards to go.
I'm sure he's trying to find a home somewhere.
Yeah. 3rd and 5. Vlasic's first throw. Lofts it over the middle, and they'll rule it incomplete. Derek Branch, the intended receiver. Awful lot of heat that time on Mark Vlasic. It was Monty Brown, the inside linebacker for the Bills, who was right in his face.
Well, Monty is the heat man. He tells me all the time. He says, Coach Butler, I'm turning up the heat tonight. I'm turning up the heat. I said, you can't turn it up much more, Monty.
The Bills now and punt return team out there. Bob Gordon, the return man. Straczynski, the only punter on the roster for Tampa Bay. Straczynski booms a good one. Gordon from his 18. Wrapped up, brought down. He's not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
Charles Wilson makes the good special teams play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good long punt by Dan Straczynski, too.
Yeah, that's okay position, but it's not the best position to start out in. So I think offensively they're gonna have to come out and they're gonna have to just start throwing that football down the field.
Don't forget, for a complete wrap-up of all the weekend sports, be sure to watch George Michael's Sports Machine every Sunday night right after Eyewitness News at 11 here on WKBW-TV in Buffalo. News Channel 7, your hometown team. 1st and 10 Bills. Gail Gilbert at quarterback. Buffalo drive start their own 16-yard line. Gilbert's pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Barry Rose.
That was a nice try out at it. He would have pulled that one in with one hand. That would have been a spectacular catch. I think Gilbert just tried to squeeze that in back behind the defensive back and just couldn't hang on to it.
2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Gilbert throwing again, looking, and he's got his man, the tight end, Ed Thomas. Thomas, gain of 8 yards on the play. Marty Carter on the tackle for Tampa. Ed Thomas has been very quiet in this training camp. A Plan B signee who used to play with the Bucks, came over last year, spent all of last season on the injured reserve list. Call it 3rd and 3 in movement, and players jump and make contact. The flags go down. Elijah Alexander jumped through there, and he may get called for encroachment.
Encroachment, number 59 defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
So an easy 1st down for the Bills there, and they need all the help they can get.
Yeah.
Trailing 23-12 with just less than 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, that could be a very important break for the Bills here. Get themselves in a little bit better position. They can just manage to get the football up around the 50-yard line, and we call it going downhill from there. You know, things can really pick up. Just your momentum starts to pick up when you get around that 50-yard line.
Gilbert on 1st down, throwing again, complete. 8-yard pickup on the far sideline. Barry Rose. Jerry Gray pushed him out of bounds. Jerry Gray, free agent signee for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. Spent last year with Houston.
You can see the receiver. He's just pushing the defensive back out, and he's just sitting down on that route because he's catching him in that deep zone. So you just sit down in front of him.
2nd and 2. Eddie Fuller is wrapped up and brought down. Does not get anywhere at all. Eric Hayes on the tackle. A couple of catches here by Barry Rose, Jerry, and I'm impressed with Barry Rose. Seems to know where he is on the field, knows where to put his feet, kind of has a sense of where he is. That's got to be important, I think.
Yeah, he does a very good job of that. And secondly, the one job that he does too very good is he uses his hands. He reaches out and he snags that ball in, and that's going to give you the ability to catch more passes that's going to be over your head or away from your body that you can't normally get to.
3rd and a yard to go for the 1st down. The Bills trying to keep this drive alive. Eddie Fuller gets the 1st down across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Give him 4 yards on that carry, and those were tough yards for Eddie Fuller. Sean Price made the tackle for Tampa. The drive is alive.
Tampa Bay seems to try to shut down the hurry-up offense by stunning those linebackers every play, trying to catch them in a run. And that's when you can really get hurt with the pass if you pick the right man out of the bunch.
1st and 10 from the 41. Gilbert going for all of it. Incomplete. Nobody there. Gordon was down there. Ed Thomas, the tight end, but no one close to where the ball was thrown. Meantime, Sean Price delivered a pretty good hit on Gail Gilbert. 23-12, the Bucks lead it. 4 Steve Christie field goals, one of them 51 yards, one of them 53 yards, one of them 44 yards. Not a productive day for the Buffalo offense so far. 2nd and 10 at the 41. Fuller. Nowhere to go at the 40-yard line. He's wrapped up and thrown down again. Sean Price, Eric Hayes on the tackle for Tampa.
Things are beginning to get a little frustrating out there for the Buffalo Bills. They are not able to get the plays ran like they want to, but now we're looking at 3rd down. And let's see, they got to get those 10 yards. So they're going to have to go with maybe Barry Rose out to the right this time.
Marv Levy checks the clock. 9 minutes to go, 4th quarter. Bills down by 11 points. 3rd and 10. Gilbert out of the shotgun. Tried to thread the needle, and it is intercepted at the 48-yard line. Still on his feet, up with it, Joe King. And a fumble at the end of that play, and the Bills recover. Let's see. They'll sort this out. Gail Gilbert not happy. He threw that definitely into coverage. 3 Bucks around it. Joe King made the interception.
Well, Tampa was determined not to let Barry off the line of scrimmage on that play, and I think Gale tried to force that ball in there. You can't see the receiver right now, but you see Gale's looking over there. But look at the coverage. There's 3 guys over there in the area. He didn't stand a chance unless you were going deep behind them.
Joe King with the interception, trying to run with it, had it knocked out of his hands by Barry Rose.
Intercepting man was down by...
It is Tampa ball. He is ruled down. That fumble, did that fumble go out of bounds, perhaps?
Well, no, I think the fumble came out before he hit the ground.
He was down way back when the play. All right, Joe King was ruled down where he intercepted the ball. Down on contact. Joe King comes up with a pick, so the Bills turn it over. There's a laundry list of mistakes that Marv Levy will be able to go through after tonight's game. Tampa Bay to start from its own 39-yard line, up by 11 points, 8:43 to go. Taking a look at Thomas Smith there, and we'll keep an eye on him on this year. He's the Bills' first-round draft pick. Here's a give to Vince Workman. 2-yard gain up the middle. Goganius on the stop. First-round draft pick Thomas Smith. One thing that I found interesting about him, Jerry, Smith seems to be a good man in run support for the Bills. Gets up there and helps out on the running plays.
He is extremely fast, John. And he reads the backfield very well. He gets off his routes off of the receivers, and he knows when the run is coming, so he just bumps them off and comes right up.
2nd and 8 for the Bucs at the Bills' 49-yard line. Royster with the football. Finds some room and gets 6 yards on that carry. Nice cutback move by Mazio Royster. Tackle made by David White. Third and 2 coming up. The ball at the 43-yard line.
I think what you're going to find now, Tampa Bay is just going to try to run the clock out.
Yep.
I don't think they'll do very much passing now, except for to try to pick up the first down. And this might be an opportunity for them to try and do that, because they're still in good field position in the event that they have to punt.
3rd down, 2 yards to go for the first. Vlasic got Royster. Good block there, and he's got enough for the first down. Mazio Royster all the way down to the Buffalo 34-yard line. What a block thrown on Richard Harvey by Tyree Davis. At the end of this play, Tyree Davis came out of nowhere to nail Richard Harvey.
He just dumps the ball right out there, and you can see Harvey didn't see him coming at all. That's what you want from your receivers. You want them to come back and deliver a blow, help the man out, and get up the field and pick up a few extra yards. You never know. That play might be the one that breaks it for the touchdown.
1st and 10 Tampa. The ball at the Bills' 34-yard line. 6:40 to play in the ball game. Bills trail by 23-12. Here is Vince Workman up the middle across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Malcolm Everett in on the stop. Monty Brown helping out.
I would say he's got the right name, right? He's a workman. He's just working tonight.
Did some pretty good work for the Green Bay Packers. Injured his shoulder in week 9 last year and missed the last 7 weeks of the season. Tampa Bay was happy to pick him up in the free agency pool. 6-yard pickup. It is 2nd and 4, and the Bucs are burning some clock now, taking a long time in the huddle and a long time at the line of scrimmage. 6 minutes to go in the game. Davis is the man in motion. Good move, and there he goes. Butch Hadnot wrestled down finally, and a flag goes down. We make it a face mask.
It looked like a face mask from you.
An 11-yard run by Butch Hadnot, rookie out of Texas.
You can see the guy going in motion there, and the defender goes across with him. Very deceptive play that makes it look like it's going to be a pass. But he just stays on his feet and cuts back across the grain and finally gets pulled down by the face mask, and that's going to cost him.
That's all Mickey Washington could do at that point as Butch Hadnot started to run around him. So tack on more yardage after the face mask penalty on Mickey Washington. 1st down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The ball at the Bills' 8-yard line.
First down will be inside the goal line.
Mark Vlasic, the quarterback. This is his 5th year in the league out of the University of Iowa. Davis is the man in motion. And the give straight up the middle goes Butch Hadnot. The Bills surround him and bring him down at about the 5-yard line. Monty Brown made the tackle for Buffalo. Jason Carthen also. 4-yard pickup, 2nd and goal at the 4 now.
He gives it to Hadnot again. And he sees that hole. It closes real fast. And that's what you got to do. And there's Monty Brown sticking his neck right up in there. Those guys take a lot of pride inside.
2nd and goal at the 4. 23-12. The Bucs leading the Bills. Hadnot. Touchdown. Butch Hadnot, 4-yard touchdown run for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hadnot, the rookie out of Texas A&M, pushing it across. How many is that so far? That's about 3 touchdowns tonight so far.
Yeah, we were looking for touchdowns earlier on. There are more than enough now. 2 rushing touchdowns for Anthony McDowell and that one for Butch Hadnot. And the extra point attempt coming up here from Michael Houston. Kick is on his way. It's good.
This second half has all been Tampa Bay.
So the Bucs add another 7 points with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. Tampa Bay 30, the Bills 12. There's a pause in the action, and we'll take time for this commercial message.
Paint it right, blue sight. Puts up a fight, blue sight. Stay so bright, beautiful sight, blue sight. Pure delight, blue sight. Dynamite, blue sight. Scrubs up right, excite, excite, blue sight. Wear the tight, blue sight. Feels so right, blue sight. Black and white, colors bright. Hold on tight, blue sight. A lasting sight, blue sight. For a finish that won't quit, blue sight, right.
I love this place.
It's the biggest in the business. The Burger King Original Chicken Sandwich. And right now you can get it with fries to drink. The new low combo price of $2.99. 4 big sandwich combos, each only $2.99.
I love this place.
Coming this September to WOKR 13 and News Channel 7, The Official Word, the official program of the Buffalo Bills, hosted by News Source 13 Sports Director Mike Canalana and yours truly. Get the inside information on the Bills with The Official Word. I wonder what the official word will be on this game, Jerry. This is not a very good performance at all for the Bills. Barry Rose and Bob Gordon to return this kickoff. Michael Houston doing the honors for Tampa Bay, and Rose has to down it in the end zone. A lot of penalties. Now the turnovers are mounting. This is not what Marv Levy has in mind when he talks about sharpening execution.
Well, the thing is, you got to remember, these guys are out there fighting for their jobs, and they got to realize, regardless what the score is, regardless what the circumstances are, you've got to get out there and you still got to continue to perform because you are on film and you will be evaluated tonight, possibly tomorrow, and Monday, because the determination is going to come up on Tuesday. So guys realize that, so they still should go out and try to have a great showing.
Bucs have turned their running game up a notch or two, as you see. Gail Gilbert, the quarterback for the Bills. That's Phil Bryant on the outlet pass. The flags go down. Bryant hauled down at the 10, a loss of 10 yards. Rhett Hall made the tackle, but flags are down. And the penalty will go against the Bills, and it's like a jailbreak now along the offensive line. The Bills can't get much of anything done.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to set up a little screen pass out to the right, but Hall didn't fall for that one at all. He drove right in there.
Chris Lundberg flagged for holding, the 8th round pick out of Westchester State in Pennsylvania. 4.5 minutes to go. They'll mark off the penalty. Well, the next Bills game here on News Channel 7 is scheduled for 8 o'clock Sunday night, October 3rd. It's the New York Giants at Rich Stadium. So tune in for that one, and an awful lot of Monday night games on News Channel 7 in Buffalo also. 2nd and 17 after the penalty. Bills at Tampa's, or at their own 13-yard line. Shotgun. Gilbert in and out of the hands, and it is dropped. Pass intended for the tight end Pat Akers, and he should have had that one.
Okay. It was a receiver's fault that time. Earlier you saw a shot of Jim Kelly on the sideline there, and he looked like he was ready to get back in the game, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No. On the other hand, he might be happy that he's not in there. Well, you see all of the injuries, and there have been some notable injuries around the NFL in preseason. I think it even bolsters Marv Levy's preseason approach more than ever. Gilbert in trouble, sacked in the end zone, safety. Eric Hayes gets Gail Gilbert in the end zone, and things are rapidly unraveling for the Buffalo Bills. Eric Hayes, third-year man out of Florida State. He is a free agent.
Bill's dropped back. He's looking. He sees the penetration coming. He tries to get out of there. All he can do is just duck. Those situations, you want to try to throw that football away. You try not to go down with that football, but you see that spin move on Curry. He showed up to camp just in time.
Yep.
He's probably going to be in the paper tomorrow.
Yep. Eric Curry, their first-round draft pick out of Alabama, signed his contract Monday after a 3-week holdout. First-team All-American for the Crimson Tide, and he just made Jerry Krafts look bad and made that guy, Floyd Peters, look good. He's the defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Came down for the Minnesota Vikings a year ago to run this Tampa defense. You do feel sorry for Gail Gilbert to play behind a offensive line that's up against the first-unit defensive line and really not be able to get anything done for the Bills offensively.
Yeah, it is a struggle out there, but sometime in your career, you're going to have to go against the best. And unfortunately for these guys, they're having to do it tonight. And at least it gives Buffalo a chance and Coach Levy to go back and evaluate these guys and know going into the season what he has to deal with and what he needs to practice on.
Talked about Levy's preseason approach and trying to avoid injuries to the frontline players. And you wonder, you know, Sam Weish with Curry in there, with Dotson in there here in the fourth quarter, and Martin Mayhew, a high-priced free agent that they signed. Apparently, he doesn't feel as cautious about using his players.
Well, no, and Coach Levy has always said that. You know, he has his own philosophy. He doesn't subscribe to anyone else's philosophy about playing starters. He has his own philosophy about playing guys just to get them enough work to get them ready to go for the season. And hey, who can complain? He's taken these guys to the Super Bowl 3 times in a row, AFC champions. So I'll listen to him.
Yep, I agree. Tyree Davis fields the free kick from Bladorn and works it out to the Tampa Bay 33-yard line, so the Bucs stay on offense. Thomas Smith in the game for Buffalo, the number 28. Well, they've had a rough preseason, the Bills have, over the years. Only 5 winning preseasons in Bills history. That goes back 33 years, and the Bills have not had a winning preseason in about 10 years. Did you ever care at the end of preseason whether you had won or lost, Jerry?
Yes.
Yes, really, it made a difference to you.
It's like a game was a game. You know, you go out there to try to win, but you always say on the sidelines, well, if I had been in there for 3 more quarters, it wouldn't have been this way.
Bucs with the football. That's Mateo Royster, and Royster gets across the 35 to the 37-yard line. 4 minutes to play in the game. 32-12. Tampa Bay leads the Bills by 20 points. Bills will be home next Friday night to play the Atlanta Falcons. 7:30 kickoff at Rich Stadium. Their only home preseason appearance.
Well, you know, John, they've been on the road for quite some time here. They've got 4 preseason games so far on the road. Finally winding up the preseason with Atlanta at home. I know these guys will be happy not to have to load on an airplane and leave and sleep in a foreign bed.
2nd and 7 for the Bucs. Their own 37-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Flags down. Hand off to Royster to the 40-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard gain, but the penalty flags are down.
I think you begin to see Tampa try to run out the clock. No great surprises or anything like that. I think they just gradually just chip away at the clock to try to get down to the 2-minute warning.
Penalty against the Bucks. Wait, they're back every weekday afternoon. TV's funniest ladies, the Golden Girls. Weekdays at 4 and 4:30, beginning Monday, September 6th, here on WKBW TV Buffalo News Channel 7, your hometown team.
Well, you know, historically, if you look back at Tampa Bay, they've always have done quite well in their preseason. Up to last year, they only won one game, and thus far, they've only won, well, if they win tonight, it'll be one game, and then they're playing Cleveland next week. Well, but then when they come out in the season, I don't know what happens to these guys. They just seem to fall apart and not pull together.
After the penalty, it is 2nd and 17 for the Bucks from their own 27-yard line. Tampa Bay with a comfortable 20-point lead. That's Royster. Tripped up, brought down by Thomas Smith. Again, run support. Maybe it's too early to say that's his specialty, but he does do it pretty well.
Well, he holds that block and the receiver right at the line. He takes that quick look back in the backfield. And that's what you got to do as a defensive back. Look and see if the run is coming, and he holds his block, and he sheds the guy off. But what he tries to do most of all is to turn the play inside where he has help from the inside and the outside linebackers.
Jim Kelly's night, 5 of 9. Frank Reich, 8 of 14 tonight for 74 yards, and Gail Gilbert still playing. 3rd and 15. Bucks with 4 wide receivers, but they give it to Workman. And Workman is going nowhere. Kirby Jackson up to make the tackle for Buffalo. So the Bills will force a punt, and they'll get a chance to run some more offense as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Bob Garden is back deep for the return, and he told me in camp that he was waiting. He's just waiting and waiting just to show what he can do. You know, if he can just get his hands on that football in time.
Yeah.
He is anticipating scoring a touchdown tonight.
Well, it must color your judgment, because you really would not want to call for a fair catch. I mean, you might not make the right call when you want to impress somebody and you know, win a job on a roster. We are at the 2-minute warning. Tampa Bay leads the Bills 32-12, and we will pause for these messages.
The hottest deals, the coolest wheels, the bestest sale. It's the Ford hottest, coolest, bestest summer sale. Now get $1,000 cash back, $1,000. Or take $500 cash back and 6.9 APR financing on a new '93 Ford Taurus, America's bestest selling car. So hurry, the hottest deals on the coolest wheels are at the bestest summer sale. Now at your participating Ford dealer. It's time to enjoy driving again.
Every kind of takeout has its own box. Chinese. Pizza. Fun. Nobody has more fun than Blockbuster, so if you want great takeout without the calories, make it a Blockbuster night.
He's trapped in time.
To the pit with him!
And surrounded by evil. Army of Darkness, rated R from MCA Universal Home Video.
Western New Yorkers have always turned to News Channel 7 for their information and eyewitness news, and we need to give them more news because they want it.
Now we're going to give them an expanded edition at 5 o'clock, a whole hour through till 6 before Irv comes on.
We'll be doing more stories, not just the same stories repeated from one half hour to the next. We're going to be doing more stories and more in-depth.
It should be a much better program all around, not just an extra 30 minutes, but a better show.
Figuring it all out. Hot and out.
32-12 the score, the 2-minute warning. At the Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida, a hot, muggy night. Steve Christie has provided all of the Buffalo points, 4 field goals. Tampa Bay punting here. Dan Straczynski is the punter. Bob Gordon, the return man for Buffalo.
Well, we will see if this is Bob Gordon day in the sun.
He doesn't want a fair catch this one. Starts from the 27. Heads to the sideline and rocked and knocked out of bounds. John Lynch knocked him out of bounds for Tampa. We want to thank our stat man tonight, John Marini. Our spotters, Denny Lynch and Fred Batfield. Done a great job for us here tonight. The folks here at the Citrus Bowl have done a great job of putting on this exhibition game. 37,000 the attendance, which exceeds their expectations slightly. Not a bad crowd. That's John Lynch. Safety from Stanford, third-round draft pick, who's had a very good camp. Bills ball, 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Phil Bryant in the backfield behind Gail Gilbert. That's incomplete, intended for Barry Rose on the far sideline. Rose cut to the inside, and Gilbert threw to the outside.
A lot of times in these situations, John, you're going to find that the defense is going to try to play a type of a prevent type of a defense to where they don't want you to beat them deep because they know you're down and time is running out and you got to get that ball deep by them. So they give you a lot of stuff underneath, and that was almost what we got on that last play.
There's Gilbert, intended for Harris, and that one misfires there. Willie Harris, Bills draft pick this year, 7th rounder from Mississippi State. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Bucks have essentially 7 defensive backs in the game, and they put Lynch in there as almost a middle linebacker. They're rushing 4 and dropping 7 back into coverage in the prevent. 3rd and 10 at the 33-yard line. Gilbert throwing, sack. Hauled down by Ray Seals, 6-year veteran.
That's a lot of pressure coming on him. And that's what's difficult. When they put that many defensive backs in there, it takes away from your passing game because they know about 100% that you're going to throw the football. So it makes it real easy to put a defense in there to try and stop it.
Those are easy sacks, too. Bladorn into punt for Buffalo. And Derek Branch, 8th-round draft pick from Hawaii, is the return man for the Bucks. Bladorn hits off a nice high one. Branch waits for it. Across the 35-yard line, brought down there. Well, for guys like Bladorn, some of the other specialists who are not likely to stick with Buffalo, not likely to unseat Chris Moore for that matter, this is a good opportunity to show the scouts, and they are here, what they can do. So everybody does try to impress despite the score and the time.
Yeah, that's the key thing, John, is a lot of guys may not think about that, but there are some that have been around and have wind up in the camp that came from other places or through the free agent draft. They know that they still got opportunity in this league. Buffalo, fortunately, have the type of a talent. It's a very hard football team to try and make, but you got to come in here and you try and do the best job that you possibly can and get yourself on film. Let the scouts look at you, because by next week, believe me, that's the triple witching hour for scouts. They're looking all over the place for people's handout. And then by the time we start the season, you'll see guys flying all over the place.
Personal foul against the Bucks. They back up 15 yards for their drive start. 1 minute, 9 seconds to play. 32-12 the score. Tampa Bay has an interesting way to start the season. They're going to open up at home against the Kansas City Chiefs, Joe Montana. That should create quite a stir in the Tampa Bay area. 1 minute, 9 seconds to go. Tampa's throwing on first down. Vlasic fires, and it's complete over the middle to the tight end, Dave Moore.
The tight end Moore is just getting in there, and you know, he's just finding the seam and finding the open area.
16-yard pickup on first down. Malcolm Everett, Sebastian Savage brought him down. Clock winding down here, the final seconds of play. Again, you can see the next Bills game here on News Channel 7 on Sunday night, 8 o'clock, October 3rd, when the New York Giants play the Bills at Rich Stadium, a rematch of Super Bowl 25.
Now you want to make that quarterback real quick? Bet you they're going to run.
You think so?
Oh,
no, look at that.
Vlasic.
Complete. Hadnot has it. He's trying to get to the sideline to stop the clock. 18 seconds, 17 seconds. He doesn't do it, and that should do it. Vlasic complete to Butch Hadnot for the final play of the game. Well, the turnovers cost Buffalo tonight. The penalties certainly hurt, and they failed again in the end zone. The final score tonight, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 32, the Buffalo Bills 12, and we'll be back to recap tonight's game in just a moment.